Okay, so now you can hear me. So sorry about that. Give me just a sec to rework this back into place. There we go. And then we have this little image that goes there. Nice. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think we're live. And it says there's someone here. So hello. Oh my gosh. So we've got audio connected. We've got our visualization. So I should be hello in the mirror. Nice. Got the logo. We got all the fancy stuff. I do want to check our audio's coming through. So I'll go ahead and turn mirror. Nice. Test got the logo. We got, of course, I have audio. That's going to loop it through. Sorry about that. Hey. Hey. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. So today, let's see. Can you guys give me like a thumbs up, emojis? I see McGee got me some smiley emojis. Thank you. Let me know that you can hear me. Voice coming through. Definitely need to know that that's okay. Perfect. Thank you. That's great to hear. Now, with that, it is time for us to do something I've been kind of afraid to try, but I really want to. And the new code block that came out yesterday has me kind of like antsy. So we're going to go ahead and start a new empty world. So when I'm building a new asset for the Essentials bundle, I'll often build in a blank world in case I fail. I fail often. That's not bad. So we're going to try and build a drivable car, which is something I think is challenging if you do it right. So let's go try and do it right. Okay. So you guys, anybody want to join in VR? I'm going to have to pass on Fova. I apologize. But McGee, if you are up for a scripting challenge or just want to hang out, I'd be happy to invite you. Or if anybody else watching, you just comment your Oculus username and we can get you added on here as a collaborator. Yes, shout out to Vova and Paul. And I don't know how to pronounce your username, but thank you for being here in the stream. Okay, so nobody yet, but that's a-okay. Now, I guess what I wanted to start off here today is talking about what the goal is, right? So we'll put our spawn point up here for now, but the goal is to be able to make a platform of any variety. So you can imagine building large landscapes or anything for that matter, and being able to off-road. So when I build landscapes, I try to use squares that I can attach the ends to. And I know this isn't exactly perfect, but you can usually do a pretty good job at getting these things to connect. Excuse me. And it is okay if there's like a little bits of that here and there. And like that's not bad. But what we want to be able to do is drive the car around on this terrain and then also be able to have a road. And so a drivable road. And just kill my battery playing Beat Saber. Dude, nice. Oh, sorry you can't, but thanks for being here. And so, we want to have this kind of drivable road that you can go around the outside, and then we want to be able to also off-road, and then you can imagine that this road can also go upwards. So it has this ability where it's like, now we've got an upward road. And so we'll go ahead and do that. And you might be able to see KO in the background. Hi, KO. Yes, it's a stream, so there's live people, and I actually added my video to this, which is quite interesting, huh? Actually, I'm not even sure where I am on the camera. I guess I'm over in here. Yeah, that's cool. So we're building cars. What you up to, KO? Okie dokie. Well, I will catch you later. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've got this built here, we're kind of starting to get the format of what could be considered like a race course, right? And so we're going to kind of continue because this is the goal. The goal is we build some sort of track, and then we'll build some terrain that goes around the track like that. Not bad. Okay. And then I guess we do need to go down once more. Oh, and then the other thing that's huge for me in terms of building sort of a race course-like track here is that I want it to be able to, I want it to also have the ability to jump. So you can like do a jump off onto something. I think that would be extremely important. So figuring out how we can look at that. So now if we grab this one here, do that, and then kind of just collide them right here. Overlap is fine. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so there is our current just quick sketched course. Now we do need to build some terrain in here, so continuing to build this out. That's not entirely great. We'll try that, and then continue building this around. And you could even consider just dropping this like that, right? And then to make this easy to identify, I'm just going to throw in some green in here, and then I'm going to throw black for the road. And in the top 1,000, so that's okay. Woo! I'm gonna try to join. My username is also Vovacek. Thank you. I apologize, Vovacek. I am not going to be inviting you. I don't want to be mean, but I do want to invite people who might be able to follow along with the scripting side of things, and give them an opportunity to try some of these scripts out today. So here we have this as well, and we're going to drag this around to here, and then we'll drag that to there. And let's continue this way. But if we do have a hosting of some sort of event afterwards, Vova, I will definitely invite you to come join us after for test driving this. So if you're still around when we're done, that would be cool. Okay, so we got that. That's not bad. And I want to continue building this around. Going to look at how we can kind of match this terrain here. So like, why would this be going up? Will it be going up because there would be some sort of going down? And we can imagine that the road's built sort of flat on there. And then we can see that maybe this has to go down to reach this area here. And so if we grab this like that, and then the hard part is this corner here, kind of getting those corners to match. And I'm not super concerned about the terrain. So because I'm not, we're going to do more of like a hard edge. So maybe this is some sort of drop off. And I guess what you could, oh yeah, what you can do, now that I think about it, is you grab from this edge and then you tilt it down like that. And you get that sort of look, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay. Yeah, so what you don't see in a lot of videos before I get started is I spend a ton of time building out kind of the zone for where I'm going to be doing the work. And so this is kind of like, if I was making a video on this topic, I would have started by building something like this and then started recording, and then been like, yeah, we have some B-roll of this that we can quickly overlay. So thanks for hanging out again, you guys. Great to have you here. If you have any questions along the way, definitely let me know. So you can kind of see how I'm forming this terrain, which is already looking honestly quite better than I would have expected. So yeah, I'm just kind of quickly checking the comments. Have to go to work, but we'll definitely watch later. Thanks for this tutorial. Yeah, thanks, Mac. Thanks for jumping in. And yeah, anybody else, feel free to come back later or don't. Won't be offended. I know this is going to be kind of an interesting tutorial, and I think there might be some great rewatch opportunity here, especially from the standpoint of like being able to fast forward. I totally get that myself. So no offense if that's you. There we go. And we're going to also grab this here, drag that there. Yeah, this is quite cool. Okay. And I do like just kind of some of these little patchy holes. I'll be interested to see how the car fares over these holes here. Nice. So a little uphill there that we might be able to play with. Let's grab this one, drag it through like that. And then I do want to grab... Now, what you might notice here is I'm building entirely exclusively out of the sharp-edged cube. And that's not by mistake, that's on purpose. These are the most efficient object when it comes to complexity, but they're also very good when it comes to just quickly putting this together because you get these nice sharp edges. There are a couple other tools that I'd recommend using when you're building landscape. So I use this pyramid oftentimes. And so the way I use the pyramid is I'll stretch it out and then use it to get these corners. So if you're looking for like a downward corner right here, sometimes I'll do it this way. It's very difficult to get set up if I'm being honest, but definitely worth trying out. I did that in the Horizon World Tours world when I was working on the beach in there. So if you've seen that beach, it's pretty well done, I think. Okay, and then building this little hill here. Nice. Okay. Not nice, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Oh, there's no way to do that because of this angle that they're at. So this is where that pyramid would have come in useful because you could put the pyramid there and that would look nicer. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. This is stuff that's kind of really just getting a little too nitpicky at this point. But I do like the way that kind of merges together. And we'll go ahead and just call that a day for now. We'll start there, come back to the rest of this later. Now, thinking about the car aspect, there are a lot of ways to do a car. And so I guess I want to quickly show, like within 5 minutes, how to build the most basic version of a moving vehicle. So I've done this in the past. Did I lose that? Or didn't pull out? There it is. So I've done this in the past with a single object. And so this is kind of what I want to show is how you can take a single object. We're going to grab a couple of these. Nope, we're going to grab this one for the tire. And we'll grab the black again for the tire. And we'll grab a silver for our car chassis. Okay, we'll snap that. That is awful. We'll snap that right there, and then we'll duplicate that onto all 4 sides, stretch this out like that. And really, this is going to be a very surprising script. I think you'll be shocked at how easy this is to put together in terms of kind of a very, very basic car. In fact, I'd like to show a few different methods of cars while we're talking about this subject. But just kind of from the scripted standpoint, you put this on top of this. And then when a player enters the trigger, you can move it forward. In fact, I'd almost think of it being maybe more on a steering wheel, like if a person puts their hand in the steering wheel. So let's try that. So we'll grab another kind of steering wheel aspect there. Put that there. This will go on top of the steering wheel. Snap. Nice. Same color tone. And then, you know, you guys will have much better car designs than me, and that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and turn that into more of a stick like that. Stretch and stretch. Okay, not bad. And what am I missing though? This seems off. And this is definitely off. So I guess I'll start here, slide over. That is a terrible design, but I guess if we were building a go-kart, right? Maybe a go-kart might look like that. So, okay, we'll go with the go-kart aesthetic. And boom. And then I guess it would come out like that towards you a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go check the comments, see what you guys are saying. It says tunnel in, please. Ooh, that is a great idea. I love it. I'm passing this along to my buddy. Oh yeah, great. Great to hear. I'd love to hear about some of the car worlds you guys are working on. New to Horizon and building an ancient alien invasion. Ooh. Well, this script with motion might be something that helps. Nice idea. I wish they would have a quarter half pipe object. That's a great request. There's actually on the user voice forms, let me grab the code for this, Command T, user voice. One of the top options is the ability to cut objects. And if you were able to cut objects, you can imagine being able to build pretty much any possible shape. And so I'm posting a link in the comments. Go create an account and vote, because this is where they do feature requests. And so the more people who vote for that feature to crop objects, I think it's called cutting tool, the more likely it is they're actually going to put it together. So definitely go ahead and do that. This is not the prettiest looking car in the world, but it does the trick. Size is a little off, so we'll go and group this together and resize it. Boop. And so we can use this player character here to kind of imagine it. And so what I want to show is a few different methods. So one method, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's actually a super great method for making cars. You set avatar attachable to be anchor, and it's hard to set up with by myself, but we're going to put it on torso. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Oh, I got to make it interactive grabbable. Interactive grabbable. Okay. And now when I put this in my chest, okay, it's on backwards. Actually, that was way better than I would have expected. So then we just select it, zoom in, and then select all of these objects and rotate. Oops, I missed a tire. And select all of the objects, tire included. Rotate 180 degrees, let go, and then zoom out. We can rotate it back forwards. And with that now facing forwards, walk up, grab this, put it in your chest, and oh my gosh, I'm driving a car. It's in my chest. It's hysterical, I know, but it goes up and down. I think we just need to adjust this downwards and forward, which is relatively easy to do from an attachable object under the More tab. When you do select anchor, you've got the ability to adjust the anchor position. So we can move it down by minus, so we say minus 0.5. So it goes closer to the ground. And I don't know which way is forward, but we'll try this one. Oh, I guess I can look. So that's under the Z. We need to move Z positive, so Z negative, so X, Y, and Z. So we'll try minus 0.5. So if you look really, really closely here, you can see that it says Z on it. You can also tell the colors represent. So red, green, blue. So RGB is X, Y, Z. Okay, so we got that. Now we'll go ahead and try this one again. And put it in your chest. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so that's exactly what I was going for. It needs a bigger steering wheel. But you can imagine, like, this is halfway to being an actual drivable car. And the way you would make this work well, besides making, we'll delete the trigger, is make this bigger. And you'd go into the script. So this is going to be version 1 of our drivable car. And you got to determine what do you want the properties for the player to be when they attach. So we'll call this attachable car. Attachable car. Easy enough. And then you say when object is attached to player. So right here, when object is attached and object unattached, we go to the motion tab, and under player, you can do player speed and player gravity. And so here we can adjust the player's speed and gravity. So I'd adjust their speed to be like, I don't know, 8. So that's pretty fast. And then we'd lower their gravity. So that way when they jump, it's like the car's got some like hops or something. So we'll go, I don't know, 5. And then when it's unattached, we want to set it back to defaults. So don't change these values, just drag them over, fill out the player pill. And then we attach this to the object itself. And now you've got a very, very rudimentary race car. And so you could have various race cars with different properties, even using the same script, right? Put it in my chest. They're so hard to put on though. Come on, chest, in my chest, in the chest. There it is. Okay. And now you can see I'm moving really fast. I can go up and off terrains. I can jump. I can really jump. You get that kind of low gravity. We can go up. You know, it's fun. It's a little bit of play acting, but it's fun and it works. So I've seen some really great worlds using this exact technique. I've made my own racing worlds using this exact technique. The other option you can do is, rather than making it attachable, as you saw, that was kind of difficult, you can do a grabbable. And so they just hold on to the vehicle. So if it was like a motorbike, you grab onto the handles, and then rather than using, same script, but rather than using object attach and unattach, you use when object is grabbed and when object is released. So very similar. Now we're going to go ahead and delete this. And I actually like this car design better. So we're going to keep this car, but we're going to make it not attachable anymore. So attachable off. We're also going to say that this object is no longer grabbable. So we're going to turn grabbable off, but we're going to switch it to animated. And then I'm going to delete this one, move this over here. And so what I wanted to show is how you can use a trigger to quickly animate something without having to really overthink it. So if I take this trigger here, for instance, and we put it right on here, then we'll snap that into the center, open up the properties panel, and then we're going to create a very simple script. And this one is going to be called trigger car. And then we'll start talking about the more advanced techniques that we'll be doing. So trigger car. And then what we'll say is when trigger is entered by player. So right here under player events, when trigger is entered by player, we want to move, and we're going to move by, but over time. So we grab move by over time, and we're going to set the time to be 1 second. That seems fine. And we're moving not self, but an object variable. So new object variable, and we'll call this one car. Okay, there we go. And so we're going to move the car by the forward direction of the player. Now, this has some interesting implementations. Now, the first thing you need to know about vectors is when they are normalized, they're at 1 meter. So when we grab forward direction of player, it's going to be 1 meter. And then we'll grab that for this player. We're going to do head. So this is going to have some weird effects. I'm not going to say I recommend this technique. What I'm saying is it works. Not that I recommend it. So we grab trigger car. We're going to reference the car, and then we select the trigger itself. and we need to zoom into the car. So what you didn't see there is because I came inside of this bounding box, I was able to easily select this trigger and then leave the trigger, click the zoom in button, let go of the trigger, click the zoom out button, and now it's a part of the car, and that trigger will stay in place when we move the car. And so now if I come over here and jump on this because it's so small, you can see it went underneath the ground, but if I look up, it'll go up. So I really need to move this the steering wheel up. Let's go zoom in, make this well, we need it to be collidable so you can stand on it. So let's go and take this section. And if I select, zoom back in. If I select from this guy and then select these three, then deselect this one and stretch upwards, and then let go, they should reset. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm not looking for this to be perfect, so that's fine for now. I just want it to be higher. Okay, and stand here, and now when I look forward, you can see it moves. Now this isn't very fast, so let's increase the speed, and to increase the speed, we need to decrease this, or what we can do, which would be better, is take this distance of 1 meter and multiply it. So I'm going to delete this one. I duplicated it so that I can easily go to my operators tab. At the very top, we have a multiplication symbol, and we are going to multiply this vector by a distance that we want to go. So we want to travel, let's say 10 meters. So that's pretty far. Could have some detrimental effects, but we're going to give it a go. So let's hit script, stop, reset, and play. And we come in here, jump on, and there we go. So now this car is working and it's gone. So that's the problem with this car, right? It can go below ground. You could set it to be torso position rather than head position, and then it wouldn't go down. And so to quickly demonstrate that under the script here, changing it from head to torso, we can then select that it will not change height. So if you have a flat course, this could work, right? So if you had a flat course, but then if you look at this wall, it's gone. So it'll just go through things. So that's another problem that we want to address. Okay, so I'm going to undo a few of these steps, get back to the nicer looking car. Oh, it's not letting me undo any further. That's okay. And we're going to ungroup this for now. We'll come back to that in a second. I'm just going to check you guys' comments. So nice idea. Wish they would have, quarter pipe. We already talked about that. Drivable world, make it go-kart. Yes. Friesland. So cool. Thank you. I also kind of need help at building my house. Yes, houses are fun. There's a video called Windows and Mansions. It's by Mercat27, and it's a great tutorial on building your first house and windows. So definitely check that out. Okay, so let's see. Here's a trigger. Don't like this. Semi-okay with that. We'll use this as our duplicate a wheel to be our new steering wheel. Big steering wheel. And we'll then grab a copy of this, and then we needed it to be higher, so that was really the trick here, is it just needed to be higher up. There we go, and then snap that into place. We should be mostly okay with that. Okay, slide this over. Okay, so I think it's about time we talk about some advanced concepts. So we've talked about all the kind of easy methods, and now we need to talk about how to actually make this work. Okay. Excuse me. So I'm thinking we need Raycast to prevent collisions. We also want it to map its rotation to the plane below it. So if you were in Arena Clash, you might have noticed that when you have your laser pointed out in front of you, there's a circle that maps to the floor below it. So this is actually kind of one of the benefits of using this type of surface, this square, is because it is a flat surface. So the car will always map correctly to this surface. And so if we say, grab a raycast from the bottom, so we'll grab a raycast out the bottom, which will be the rotation of it. Then we grab a raycast out the front so it can't collide with solid objects in front of it. And then we grab a raycast out the bottom to not only catch if it's what surface it's on, but if there isn't a surface there, we need to fall downward. So like if you drove off this, it would fall down to the surface below it. And then we also want a feature where the player can jump. And so this is some guy this morning commented and was like, I don't like the remote control, but for any of us who've done any sort of Mario Kart driving cars, you kind of know there's got to be some sort of remote control so you can like do boosts or anything else you want to do with the car. So I'm kind of thinking remote control might be the only way to go if we want to have like a jump boost. Oh, but he was talking about the broom. So I mean, I get it. Like, you want to hold the broom. So I think that there is a scenario where a remote control isn't as amazing or optimal. But in this case, I think we do need to go with the remote control. And so we're going to make a grabbable remote control for this. Oh, this is interesting, huh? So let's take this down a bit here, maybe to right there, and see how does this link into that spot there. Maybe just grab that over and then grab something like that there. Yeah, building terrain, not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. So if, I'd spend more time on this than just throwing it together like I am. Definitely want to spend a lot of time figuring out the terrain, maybe even before putting the road in. I think that might make it a little bit easier. Yeah. So let's stretch that out over to there. And then we want to grab this. I was thinking I wanted to get the tunnel in really quickly, but kind of scattering my mind around as I'm thinking about how we're going to solve this. Okay, so we'll consider this will be the tunnel later. So we'll come back to the exact tunnel method. Also, if you didn't see that, I used the array tool to create this kind of nice arc shape, which I thought was pretty neat. Nice. In fact, I'd like to see this come from right here, like that, and like that. Cool. So some stuff coming along, right? Okay, so we've got this idea with the Raycast. So let's go ahead into our gizmos. Now, oftentimes, I don't know that I recommend doing this, but I go into things with a lot of, I'll figure it out like later. So like I literally put a question mark because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to actually solve this today. I think I can. I was also debating between physics-based car driving and non-physics-based car driving. Like if we just map it to the ground and just drive forward, that's pretty easy to do. And you just like press your index trigger and hold, and that's gonna cause you to just keep moving forward. But we could have it where you apply force and you're moving forward, and then you're like trying to apply rotational force. Which I kind of wanted to at least try what that would feel like. So maybe we should at least see what that's like. Using this trigger here, we'll go ahead and write one line of script to see what it's like. There's this new motion code block at the bottom. Spring push objects towards position. I haven't tried it out yet, so this might be a good time to try it. So go. When trigger is entered by player, we want to spring push the car, spring push the object variable car. And then we're going to push it towards a destination that we need to press. Unless this is a direction, I can't tell. Toward 0, 0, 0. Is that a direction or not? I guess we'll find out. Let's try upwards. So if I do 0, 1, 0, does it actually push up with stiffness and dampening? I actually don't know what those do. So I'm going to figure this out together. Spring push car. And if anybody is wanting to join in VR, I have 3 slots here, and you just need to comment your Oculus username to join. Oh, hey, Sassy, thanks for joining the chat. Great to have you here. Okay, so spring push the car, and then we need to see what else. I think we just need to do that. So here we go. Open up the trigger, attach script 1. There we go. Now drag through here and here, there and there, group together, open this up, and drag the group into here. Now, we do need to give it physics. Because we're using push, and push is a physics-based interaction, we'd have to apply physics. And the reason I've been avoiding physics is because the physics in Horizon is horrendous. If you've done anything with the physics engine, you'll know exactly what I mean, but here we go. So that didn't do anything. Oh, okay, it did do something. Didn't do a great something. I think it's trying to get to the position in the middle of the world, 0, 1, 0. So it does look like it's using an actual position. So if we calculate a position instead, so we say position of self plus, and then we'll use that direction of player we were using before. So we'll use upward direction of player. So theoretically, this creates a bunny hop effect. So we'll say upward direction of the player's torso, which is actually just 0, 1, 0. So that's kind of pointless to calculate, but that's fine. I know. Sorry, someone's probably laughing just with me. But if you're not, it's okay. I'll explain it later. Okay, so we're gonna grab position of object, and the object is the car object. And now we have a push upwards towards this. So this should work as a jump. Jump. Jumping? Are we jumping? We are not jumping. Okay. Let's give it something more intense. Like, so what I was saying earlier is that a upward direction of torso is always going to be 0, 1, 0. So what we can instead do is type in like 0, 10, 0 and see what that does. And then we'll try adjusting these other values in a second, see what they do. Okay, and nothing. Script, stop, reset and play. See if that does anything. And jump, jump. Oh, whoa, okay, there we go. I don't know why it didn't work the first time, but it definitely worked that time. And see that? That's why we don't want to use physics in Horizon, because it's super bouncy. Okay. Wow. But see, that could be really cool to have like a, when you do a bunny hop, it looks like that, right? So if I just tap it once, is it just really delayed? Or why is it not feeling instant? Huh. Is the trigger really small? I don't get it. Trigger more in tune with that. And yeah, I don't get this. It's just feeling really slow to react. Way slower than normal server response times. So definitely don't want, okay. Definitely don't want something that's not fast in terms of response time. So why are we seeing that delay? So is that where we might be seeing this dampening or stiffness? What if I type 0 here and I type 0 here? What happens? So we just clear these out. Nope, still not instant. And to confirm that this would work otherwise, let's try using the regular push. So there's a push right here. And so, oh, maybe spring push is because it's springing downwards maybe before pushing upwards. Excuse me. Not sure. Okay, so we're going to take a push by the 0, 10, 0 value, delete this one. And now, I want to apply this to the car, not to self. And now what we should see happen is this should, yeah, see, that's what I was expecting to happen. So maybe we don't use the new spring function. As cool as it sounds, it doesn't actually do what we want, but that's pretty cool. Look at that. And you can just, the triple jumps and the quadruple jumps, we are so high. If this was the real world, I'd be dead right now, but that was amazing. I love being in VR. Let's see if any of you guys wanted to join us. We have, wow, big delay, right? I know, yeah. So, hey, Rainmaker, did you want to come in? I will add you as a collaborator. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. Like seeing all the friends out here. Nice, nice. Cool. Bova, I am apologizing, but I will be inviting some others. I do appreciate you being here though, and we'll definitely invite you for the afterwards. Yeah, I bet that's what it's, the spring down then up. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. It's super strange though, because you'd think you'd see something like springy action happening. I wonder if there's a way for us to try experimenting with that later at a later time. Okay. If anybody does understand the spring, please leave a comment. I would love to know. Mr. Glitch, yeah, would love to have you. Okay, manage collaborators, add collaborators. We're gonna add Mr. Glitch and Rainmaker, and that equals 2 out of our 3 slots. There's Mr. Glitch, invite as editor, and we want to add Rainmaker 99. And then we have one more space, so if someone is available to hop in right now, definitely leave your username in the comments so we can get you invited. Unfortunately, there's only 4 spaces in build mode, otherwise I'd invite everybody. Okay. Sweet. It's Reese Royale. Hey, Reese. I'll add you. I don't know if you were saying you were wanting to join, but I'll add you. Manage collaborators and inviting Reese. So at the last live stream, we didn't have audio. I'm pretty confident I've solved that. So I know you guys can hear me pretty well. I'm just wondering if we're going to be able to hear our friends who join. Okay, Reese, I'm spelling your name wrong. Let's try that again. Where are you at? Using this nose hole is so hard, but there it is. R-E-C. Oh, it's R-E-E-C. There it is. Double E. Maybe no E there. What am I messing up? I'm sure it's something simple. I apologize. Let's see. REECE. Wow, there it is. Cool. Just a little bit of delay on the server. Sweet. Okay, so I really am enjoying this car. Like, I could honestly just hop here all day. This is like way better than a bounce house. No joke. Give me a bounce house with this in it. Notice how when I'm falling and I hit it, it just stops my velocity though. It's because it's increasing your velocity. So it has to counteract the current velocity. So if you were falling at so if we go up really high and we start falling, it's not even going to stop us. So right about now, you see it just slowly slowed us down. It didn't even bring us to a stop. So that's kind of an interesting note here. Now that we've got this set up, let's say instead of pushing the car by 0, 10, 0, we push by the forward direction of the player's torso. And this is some messy business. I kind of like the idea of trying physics, but we're going to have to keep it from doing what we just saw, which is getting out of hand. Okay, so forward direction of the player. Hey, welcome, Mr. Glitch. Thanks for joining us. Forward direction of the player's torso. There we go. And so here we hit this button, and we're not really moving forward. I think it's just not enough strength. So we're going to have to use that multiplier again. And let's grab this. Feel free to design a car, hang out, whichever you want to do, Mr. Glitch, all up to you. Great to have you. You guys may remember Mr. Glitch from some of our earlier videos a year ago, actually. So first time having him back in a while. All right, here we go. And, oh, nice. There we go. So now we got some kind of pushing motion. Oh, and that is why we didn't want to use horizon physics. I just got thrown off the map. So we do have to find some way to limit the velocity. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And then we constantly want to make sure the car is rotated straight up. So is there a way that we say when the trigger, like in this right now, we're just kind of testing and experimenting. So when trigger is entered is not what we're going to be doing. What we're going to end up doing is creating a controller with a remote control that does like a loop. But for now, we're doing this just to do some tests. And so what if we say rotate the car to its origin rotation? So it's constantly being rotated to its origin rotation. So we'll save that as a rotation value, which we'll call origin rotation. And then on world start, we'll save that. So we'll say when world is started, set origin rotation to, and then under operators, we can go to object and get rotation of object. And that's the car object. Okay. And then we'll rotate to that. Oh, and I should do it over time. Yes, over time. So rotate to over time. And then 1 second should be fine. So that slowly kind of buffers it so it doesn't look super jittery. And now what we should see is this won't rotate as long as we're clicking this. So even if we go over here and hit this hill, as long as I hit that, it should, well, as long as I hit this, it should turn upright, right? So if I, and yeah, you know, kind of works. Kind of works. But now what we want to do is think about how can we increase the velocity to this speed and then kind of come to a sustaining point. So under our script, let's start by creating a loop. And so I think this is the time where it's time to start creating a controller. So we're going to go and write controller. Or what do you would call that? The steering wheel. So we want to make this not feel like you're driving a like a remote control car. We want to make this feel like you're driving a vehicle. So we'll call this vehicle steering wheel. Okay. And then what we're going to do is very similar, but instead of using the trigger, we're going to say when index trigger is pressed. And so index trigger will be your forward motion, and we're going to create a looping event. And so if you've never created a looping event, these are pretty easy. So we'll say when event is received, and then send event with delay, and send event to object. Okay, so quite a few things, but they're all right here under event actions. And so what we're doing is we're sending the loop event. So we'll go create new event with name L OOP, confirm. So send loop to self, and then when loop is received, we can now find that in our dropdown. And then we're going to send loop back to self. So every second we're updating. And I think we can actually update this relatively frequent. So we'll say 0.5 seconds. Now the question is, what if we make this locally scripted? Now, if we locally script this, the reason I would want to locally script is so we could have like 20 of these cars not bombarding the server, and it would be more responsive to the player. And I'm thinking this could work. Yeah, so to do a local script, we're going to go over here, hit this gear icon, change it from default to local. And then to make sure this works correctly, the first thing that happens in a local script is the object becomes grabbed by the player. So we grab object grab by player. And when this happens, to make the local script run correctly, we have to transfer ownership of the object to the player. So we put that under the object is grabbed. And what objects are we transferring? Well, we're transferring the object self, which is the grabbable object, as well as the car. And eventually we'll have sound effects and other things, and those will also need to have their ownership transferred to the player. Okie doke. Okay, so now that we've got this locally scripted, in a local script, when the script becomes owned by a player, it starts from scratch and reruns the when world is started, which is unfortunate because origin rotation becomes irrelevant to us. So what I want to do real quick is debug print the origin rotation and then just write it down. So that way we know what it is and we don't have to like think about that. So right here, you can see it's this absurd value. Is that real? Okay, that's the real value there, 0.90. So there's some like rounding errors in there that you're seeing, but it's 0.90. So what that means we can do is delete this when world is started event. And instead of rotating to origin rotation, we'll go ahead and delete that variable, go to the values tab where we can grab rotation input and put in 0.90. And so because the script gets reset, if the car wasn't upright when the controller got grabbed, then the rotation would have been reset. So that's why we're doing it this way. Okay, so we've got that. Now this event, the push, goes into the looping event up here. And now we don't know who the player is. Yes, we do actually. We know that when the object is grabbed by a player, they become the owner. And so underneath our actions tab, we have owner of object. I'm about to sneeze, so I apologize. I don't know if I can cover it. Okay, it's gone, I think, hopefully. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna grab owner of self, which will return the player's value. And now we have the forward direction of the player. Cool. So now I've got this looping event. Now what we need to do is go into this trigger and delete it. So we'll zoom into the car, zoom in, delete the trigger, and we want to put an invisible controller here. We're not going to put this inside of the grouping. We're going to put this on the outside. And so we're going to go grab just a cube here. And this is the piece that the player can grab onto. So we're thinking something like this, right? And we'll make it invisible. So a non-visible, collidable, grabbable. So interactive, grabbable, no physics, vehicle steering wheel. Now, when I get to the Vidyuu Essentials bundle, I would attach the return script to this using the other object return. So we'll go over that a little bit later. And then what we need to do is reference this because we want these to return to their origin position, and I haven't really set them up to do that. Yeah, whoops. But there's a script for that in the Essentials bundle, as you might have expected. Okay, so now that we've got our grabbable steering wheel, we can select it, shrink it down, set it right here. So now you can grab that. I'm also going to snap it into position like that and slide it outwards a little bit. And then I also want to make sure the car is in position as well, because right now it's going up and then falling down, and I want it to be already down right about there. Cool. Okay, so now that that's working, now index trigger is pressed, we send loop to self, and then what we want to do is say when index trigger is released. So let's go up to the index trigger event. Index trigger is released. We want to cancel sending loop to self. And let's see, cancel sending with delay. And we'll just put the loop from the drop down here. And now that should more or less work. We still haven't capped the speed, so this is going to get ridiculously fast, very fast. So we're going to actually change this to 1, and we can modify that later. And then our loop speed here, because this is a local script, we can run this as fast as we want, which can give us a much more responsive script. So change it to 0.1 seconds. Excuse me. Because it's local, you can pretty much run on a frame rate basis. So if you change this to 0 seconds, it would run something like 50 60 times per second. Ridiculous speed. So there's some uses for that when you're designing things. But okay, so we got this. I've got my controller, and now I press my index trigger, and yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is, we're gonna reset that. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. Hey, we got Mr. Glitches in. Anybody else? Hello, Marianne. Foucher. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Teeny Whoop. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Looking around. Great to have you guys. Feel free to keep commenting. It looks like we still have two spots here. So if anybody would like to join, comment your Oculus username, and I can get you added as a collaborator so you can come and join us and try maybe building a cart out yourself, or just hanging out, trying some scripts out yourself. Now, what we realized here is that this wasn't fast enough. The vehicle was slowing down way too fast. So maybe to prove a point, I don't recommend doing this, just to be fun. We're going to set this to 0 seconds and see that this should theoretically, if I'm right, go much. Oh, interesting. That's not any faster than before. Huh. Interesting. Okay, that's not what I would have expected. So maybe we'll go back to 0.1 seconds, change rotation to 0.1 seconds, I guess. No, 1 second. So it's, yeah, 1 second, still good. And then over here, we're going to change this to be more like 3. Still kind of worried about the way this is going to go, but we'll go figure that out and play. Okay. So grab this. Oh, not bad. A little. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it's gone. Again, this is why we were afraid of using the physics on that one. Did you see that thing going? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Sure did.
You guys can hear Mr. Glitch, right? Can I have one? Oh man. Feel bad for that kid. Okay, bye. Let's see. Do develop in real time. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Cool. So let's see. We've got this thing going out of control when it's at 3. Isn't that crazy? We go from 1 to 3, which isn't that dramatic, and it's just insane. Now, what I really didn't like was it felt very stuttery still. Even at 3, it was pretty stuttery. So I think this is maybe where we consider going back to the more classic move to over time. And so to kind of keep this relatively simple, we're going to use move by over time. And yeah, I've got some ideas here on how we can get this to work. Yeah, let's not use move by. Let's use move to, and then this will make it easier to calculate later to update this. So, okay, kind of what my thoughts are right now, just immediately, is if we use move to, we can define the position we want to go to. We can define how fast is it accelerating. We can do all that math later ourselves. I know math is fun. I know you guys might be not thinking the same thing, but I am. And so we can do that. But then the other thing that we can do is say, if we use the Raycast, we can Raycast out where are we going to. If we use move by, we have to just tell it an amount to move to, not necessarily where to move to. But if we use Raycast, the hit position is where we're moving to. So that's why I'm thinking we use move to at this point. So we're going to say move self to a destination, and our destination is the current position plus the forward direction times 3. And we can modify that with some speed later. So we'll go grab the plus symbol, put this into the right side, delete the push value. We don't need to rotate the car anymore because, well, I guess we do want to rotate at some point. Okay, yeah, I guess that's good. And then let's see, the position of object, which is the car. Okay. And forward direction of torso, owner of self. Nice. So let's give this a go. I grab, gotta reset the world, stop, reset, and play. Now the thing that I just remembered is this has physics on it, which we don't want. We want to turn this back to animated. So that's from interactive physics now back to animated. We'll probably mess with this a little once again, but for now that's where we're at. Now we're gonna hit the index trigger. Oops. I do this all the time. I forgot to update the move with the car value. And even this position here should be position of car. My bad. Okay, and stop. So the controller went flying out of my hands and I got long arms. I would I think I have seen this actually where someone animates, yeah, it was Elastic Plastic does this, and he animates the object you're holding to make it look like you're dancing. It's really funny. Okay, so press index trigger. Now we're moving. Nice. And if I rotate my body, so I'm in a spinny chair right now. You guys can probably see that. It rotates this way, and we're not rotating the car, and we went through. But that wasn't terrible. It's really slow, but it's not terrible. Okay. So what we want to see is a way to increase this number and then slow the number down so it feels like the car is decelerating. So rather than cancel sending the event loop to self, what we should do is have a value called increase or decrease. So we'll create a new variable. This is going to be a Boolean value, and this will be called speed up. Okay. And speed up will be default false, but when the index trigger is pressed, we're going to set it to true. So we'll go grab the Boolean and then set Boolean to value, Boolean input true. And then we can duplicate this and drag it down to when index trigger is released, set it to false. And then under our events tab, grab an if and an else. And now what we can say is if speed up is true, we're going to set the speed. So we'll create a new number variable called speed. And I'm going to underscore this so nobody edits this because this isn't meant to be used by other people. So we set speed, and then we'll grab the set to command, and then put this here, and then grab a plus. So I'll set speed to +1. So every time this loop comes through, which is 10 times per second, which is pretty fast. So we should get really fast speeding up and really fast slowing down. We might need to adjust this later. And then what we want to do is also slow it down. So under else, we're going to grab a minus symbol and then just duplicate down these values, A and B, and then throw speed here into the multiplier. And I kind of want to just try this out without doing any other work. I just kind of want to have fun. So we're going to try it out. So hit stop and hit play. Now we're going to run down into here, grab this, press index trigger. Whoa, okay. Oh, and then slow down was nice too. Oh, and it goes in reverse. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So who caught that? Who knew that was going to happen? That is so funny. Oh my gosh. That's too funny. It's gone. It's gone. Stop the world. Oh gosh. Okay, so what I meant to do was move this loop into the speed up. We're only sending loop to self. Oh no. We're only sending loop to self if it's greater than 0. Yeah. So we're gonna need to set up an if here that says if speed is greater than 0. So it should never go in reverse. Maybe we'll make a reverse at some point, but not yet. Okay, so speed is greater than 0. So speed is greater than or equal to 0. No, greater than or equal to 1. That's fine. Then we send loop to self, so that'll keep it going. Okay, much better. Oh goodness. Whew. Okay, so let's try that one more time. That should be a little bit more functional. Did I remember to hit play? I did not. Hit play world. Okay, and here we go. So index trigger, there we go. Nice speed. Slow down for the corner. A little bit. Oh, okay. And now we got to go this way, but we can't go up hills yet. Oh man, we're so close. We're so close. I like this track because it feels like it's, we're learning pieces as we're moving along. It's like, okay, we're running into things. Okay, we're learning how to get around the corner. This is good. This is good. So we're on the right track here. So we got our car, got our controller, we've got some forward, and the speeding up and speeding down isn't bad. I don't know if I necessarily want to share this. I just realized I got turned around. Hi guys. I'm a little embarrassed. Let me see if anybody wants to join us first. Hey, Richie, I sent you an invite earlier, by the way. Super great. Oh, Jordan95 likes Murder Village. Thank you. You guys got to check it out for April Fools. He did an upside down update. Things are just topsy turvy all over the place. It's a lot of fun. Definitely check that out. Yeah, one of a kind. Do you want to hop in? What's your Oculus username? I have room for 2 more here with me and Mr. Glitch. So if you guys comment your Oculus username, I can get you added. You just got to have your headset ready to come and hop on. And looking to see if I missed anybody else. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we're good. Jordan says, add me. Ball so hard to what? My YouTube blocked your comment. It's like, are you sure you want to show this? Oh, it's too funny. You guys have some great usernames out there. You know who you are when you do. Let's see. But I add you all to the essentials bundle, so you know I know. Okay, let's get balls so hard in here. Manage. And I hope I'm not mispronouncing this. This is through my nose hole. Okay. Search BALS also. Okay, there you are. 1211 invite as editor. Come on over. And let's see. Oh. Vova, I'm going to be completely brutally honest, and I didn't really want to do this on stream, but because you're younger, your personality is not something we really want to have on the stream today, so I do apologize. But we would love to have you at the after event, so when we're hanging out here after we publish. So I do again apologize for that. But thanks for joining us on the stream. Really appreciate having you here. And look forward to seeing you on later in Horizon. Cool. Okay, so I don't see anybody else commenting their username, so we're going to go ahead and continue on. Whew. Okay, so this speeds up. So what I was afraid to say, and someone's calling me out for not saying this yet, is my wife and I, we sold both of our cars and bought a Tesla, and they are electric, so they go really fast. And when I was writing this here, so it feels like that. It feels like it goes like it's ridiculous. The intensity of how quickly it picks up is just, it's nice. I like it. I kind of want it to almost be faster even. So I'm thinking, what if we go, I'm crazy. What if we go to 0 seconds? I said don't do this, but why don't we try it out and see what happens? Stop, reset, and play, just to kind of see, curious. We haven't put any limits on this yet. We should. Okay, still not fast enough. It needs kind of a kickstart, like a really kick you in the chest sort of feeling. So, hey, welcome, Balls So Hard. Great to have you.
How you doing?
Doing great. Great to have you here. Feel free to build, hang out, try some scripts, and talk. That's all good too. Yeah, great to have you.
Okay.
And yeah, if anybody else wants to join, just comment your username. Napoleon Dynamite voice. Oh yeah, welcome. Richie, I know your username is your username, so I'm thinking that might be a yes that you want to join. I'm not completely sure, but I will add you just in case you have the ability to get on. Let me go search. Oh yeah, high five. I don't know if that was intentional. That wasn't intentional. Okay, now I'm embarrassed. Richie. Richie Billions space BILL. Let's see. Do I have to backspace here? There it is. Invite as editor. Feel free to come and join.
I noticed it was a script underneath. Is that for this?
Nice. All right. So back over here, let's see. We've got this going, but we really wanted to speed it up. So I'm thinking, what if we say if equals 0? So right here, when we say if speed up, then we say if it equals 0, we instantly set speed to be just something outrageous. Like, okay, instantly speed to 5. Yeah, we'll instantly set speed to 5. And then we'll change this loop speed back to 0.1 because that was fine. And now, stop, reset, and play. That's the other thing that's really nice about local scripts is they just are so much more responsive. So that's still not what I wanted. I mean, it's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but I'm wanting something a little more. Let's see, what am I doing wrong here? We're multiplying by speed by the torso direction. We're moving to the position over 1 second. Speed starting at 5. If you're thinking it maybe by 3 seconds you're liking it, maybe we try starting with 15. Okay, hit stop and hit play. And now, okay, that's a little bit better. That feels a little bit nicer. Okay, and then we get to the curve. It's still really hard on curves. And we're gonna go back the other direction. Oh yeah. Whoa, okay. And I fell off the roll. Okay, so that's a little bit better. I'm gonna say 10 actually, not 15. I think a little bit slower start. It seems good. It has the ability to stop relatively fast. Maybe we actually stop this faster, like at a -2, so it feels like it's really coming to a stop pretty quick. Might even change that to be higher later. And now what I want to do is start using our Raycast. So we haven't added any Raycast, but let's go ahead and start creating some. And while we could just throw a Raycast into the grouping and put it in a position, I'm thinking we will teleport this around and run some overrides on it. And so on this Raycast, we're going to set the Raycast distance to be 2 meters. And we're going to run on both players and objects. We're not going to worry about object tags because we're looking for static collisions. And perfect. So if you've seen the pet in the Essentials bundle, the way we get the pet that's grounded to walk is we just put the Raycast out in front and then fire it at the ground. And it's like, oh, I found the ground. That's where I'm going to go. So kind of thinking we're going to do the same thing here. Is take that Raycast, find a position, and then move to that position. And so we might actually only need 1 Raycast for all of our cards. Maybe not. No, we're going to need 1 for each player because we're local scripting, right? Okay, so let's go into our script, create a new object variable. And this is going to be called Raycast. There we go. And to run our Raycast, thinking about what do we want to do first? There's a lot of things we really want to do with the Raycast, which is part of my problem. Is I'm like, there's so much I want to do with it. I'm wondering how many times I can use it in a single script. So I guess we'll figure that out as well. Okay, so in this loop, the first thing we want to do is make sure it's clear in front. Hey, welcome, Richie. Great to have you.
Hey, what's going on? Hi, people.
Feel free to hang out, do anything. It's great to have you. And y'all in the comments, if we get another free spot, I'll let you know. And yeah, go Speed Racer, go. Appreciate that, McGee. Appreciate that. All right. So coming back over here, the first thing we're going to do is check to make sure there's nothing in front of us. So where we want to go to, we want to make sure it's clear. And what's interesting about that is that we are moving at very fast speeds. But because we're moving over 0.1 seconds, maybe we'll be clear. Let's see. Because this is moving over 1 second. So we'll say fire Raycast, and maybe we won't do the first one with overrides. So we are going to select our Raycast. First, open up the properties panel of the car, select Raycast, zoom in, and then we're going to place this up front right here. And because I don't really want to worry about hitting small inclines, I want to worry about hitting big things. We're going to move this upwards to like here. So if there's a small little pothole, it's gonna hit it. There we go. And now let's open up the properties panel of this so we don't lose it. Zoom out and close out of this. Open up the properties panel of this one. Reference our Raycast here in the empty slot. And now we can fire that Raycast, and it should tell us that we are in the clear. And basically what we're wanting this to do is to stop. So what we're trying to get this to do now is just stop when it gets to something in front of it. So let's go. When loop, actions tab, Raycast on the Raycast object variable. And then we're going to say if did not hit. So we go grab the not operator from our logic section. So not is going to reverse a true value. So then we go to our operators at the bottom. You're going to find get Raycast data, and we can get the Raycast on the Raycast. And so we're going to say if did hit is true, we flip it to false with the not. So we say if not not, anyway, not flips a point, making this more complicated than it needs to be. Anyway, so if we did not hit, we're going to do stuff. That's what we're trying to say. Okay, so we're going to move this up into here. We're going to move the else up into here, move the if up into here. And this is just the easiest way to move this stuff back into this area. There we go. Move this down below the if, rotate. And now when it does hit
Hey,
something,
boss, so
we
hard, I can't hear
completely
you.
stop. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit script, stop, and play. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and grab this, give it a try. Now, thinking that it won't work if we hit something sideways. Oh, did we already hit something? No. Oh, that did not work. Okay. And this doesn't have any rotation on it, so we can't go backwards. Let's try that again. So I'm thinking with the car in the essentials bundle that's already there, I feel like I had to do it at a so let's drive off this way. And then what we want to do is try to hit that wall right there, or any wall for that matter. Oh, is it stopping? It is stopping, isn't it? It's saying it can't, but it's going too fast at a certain point, and then it just goes through it. So come back. Where are you at? Oh, there goes the car. Okay, come back towards me. Oh, my torso is the direction. Duh. Okay, so let's actually add some rotation to this real quick. Just for the sake of making this easy, we're going to rotate to the forward direction of the torso with up of 0, 1, 0. I know it sounds complicated. It's not. Under operators, if you go to vector, there's a forward, look at, excuse me. It's called look at. So you grab the look at, throw that into the rotation here. And so we're going to have the car look at, and what is the car looking at? Well, it's going to look at the forward direction of the torso. So we calculated that up here already. And since we've calculated this in 2 places, it's a lot more efficient to do this only once. So we'll go create a new vector variable, and this will be called player forward, which will just save us a little bit of processing and can cause our script to run a lot smoother. So we'll go ahead and click set to. So we'll set the player forward to be the forward direction of the player. Then we can throw that into here and throw it into here. And then our up is always going to be 0, 1, 0. So we go to vectors input and 0, 1, 0. And why is it 0, 1, 0? Well, we want the Y value to point upwards. So if I select the car here and you look at this car, you'll see that the Y is positive up. And so we always want the car to be facing up. And so that's what 0, 1, 0 does. And so it can rotate on any direction around this Y-axis, which looks like that, of course. But it cannot rotate along any of the other axes. It's always going to have that facing upwards or as close to up as possible, which is okay for now. At some point, we want to make this look a little differently. So I'm thinking that might actually be how we get our plane motion in, but we'll get to that. Okay, so moving car, position of car, player forward times speed. We still haven't got it to stop, but I was hoping that by having a rotation, this would make it a little easier to test. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our car. Okay, we're off by 90 degrees. That's too funny. Okay, so what you do to fix this, there's a few different options. So the easiest option is you select your car and then you just zoom into your car and rotate it. But the other easy option is duplicate your rotate to, and then delete this one, go back to operators and grab the plus symbol, throw the original look towards into the A slot, and then in the B slot, we're going to put in a rotation input. And since we know it's off by about 90 degrees on the Y, we'll just throw a 90 in there. And I think that'll do the trick. We'll try it out. And I press A, now we're forward. And now we can look at this and it still drives through. Not sure why. Maybe I did something wrong. Let's go take a look and see. Double check. Raycast with Raycast. If did hit from Raycast. If did not hit. What if we just check hit distance instead? This might be an easier thing because then we can debug print it. So hit undo. Then let's go grab value input, debug print the hit distance. And that will be a little bit easier to work with. So debug print, hit distance, and then what we can do is go into our car, zoom into the Raycast here, and change the Raycast distance to be like, I don't know, 200 should be plenty. And then what we should be seeing is it should be hitting stuff. It really should. So we'll go, I gotta reset the world. So hit reset and play. And grab this, press index trigger, and that should have stopped. Okay, it did. It took a while to stop though, but it did stop, and it won't drive anymore because it's firing the raycast before looking at the direction you want to turn to. So I have a way to fix that, but what I wanted to first look at was, here we have 0. Why is it printing 0? Oh, because it didn't hit anything. And then it hits at 34 meters and it hits at 10 meters the last 3 times. So it was 34 meters out before it hit that object, which is actually at 10 meters. So it was off by 20. Oh, you know why? I realized what I made. Remember when I said earlier we need to transfer ownership? Forgot to transfer ownership of the raycast. That should improve our speed and accuracy. So now the moment I turn towards that should work. And then what I wanted to show you is that for the rotation, because we want the car to be able to rotate freely, even if you do hit something so you can get out of a tight spot, we're going to move this rotation up before the raycast. So the first thing we do is rotate the car, and that should prevent us from locking the user in place. Okay, here we go. So now when I get over here, that should have stopped sooner. I still don't know why. But now if I face this way, why aren't we moving this way? I thought it would rotate, but it's not. Okay, not sure. Let's go and see here. 26 meters, it realized it, and then it took 3.5 meters to actually stop. So the reason I'm able to see that is because you can see this number 26 is coming through. So that's the first time it's realized it's hit something and it stops running. And then the last 3 times I clicked, or last 6 times I clicked my index trigger. Stop. Thought for sure that would work. Rotate car to look towards player forward direction with up 010 plus 90 over 1 second. We do that when loop is received. We send loop to self when the index trigger is pressed. Set speed up to true. And a little perplexed by that. I want to keep trying that out real quick. Let's go ahead and hit play. And so I'm going to slow down, rotate this way. Okay, I've hit something. Now rotate this way. Rotate completely. I don't get this. Huh. Something must have gone wrong, and I don't know why. Okay, let's see if any of you in the comments have caught this, because I can't figure it out. Let's see. Cool cars, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so no one's figured it out, but that's okay. Raycast should be fairly straightforward. We're firing a raycast forward, but we're not preventing this rotation. Oh, because we didn't calculate the player forward, because the player forward was calculated back here. Duh. Okay. Again, simple mistakes. I make these all the time. So if you guys are making simple mistakes, don't worry. Everybody does it. Especially me. I'm definitely the worst. And if you don't do it, great for you. I don't care. Just kidding. Okay, so now we've got it working, and you can see it rotates even if I do hit something. So theoretically, I should hit that wall. Let's try hitting this wall. Try hitting this wall. Oh, yeah. I like using the forward direction of the object I'm grabbing, because it's a little bit easier to use rather than player torso forward. And I can't get back on it. So face this way, press index trigger. Did you make it? No? Oh, because there's an object there. Got it. So drive this way. Come on. It's so unhappy. Okay. Oh my gosh. And let's try facing this way now. And come on back at me. Come on. Nope. Too much in the way. Okay, we're going back into build mode. And while we're going into build mode, let's check out some of these really cool racing cars. Look at this. That's freaking awesome, Mr. Glitch. That is so nice. I mean, lots of soft cubes. I'll refer you to my soft cube video later, but great stuff otherwise. Have you seen the soft cube video? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cool. The pogo stick. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So those
Sure
who
did.
haven't, soft cubes cost 2.2 regular cubes on the geometric complexity. So if you had one or two of these as regular cubes, it would save you a couple extra objects later on. But I'm not worried about it. You know, have fun. Make your cool car. It looks smooth and clean. So no worries. I'm not telling you to stop. But yeah, you guys check out the complexity meter in the essentials bundle if you have more questions on that. There's also a really cool tutorial on Facebook. Okay, so now that we've got this working better, let's change the distance of the raycast down to more like, I don't know, 10. Let's try 10 for now. That might just be the answer to getting this to work. So we go 10, stand here, grab this. Now we can drive. And nice. Oh, I don't want to go that fast. Okay. And now we've hit this wall. And there was something I wanted to test with the wall, but I forgot what it was. Oh, right, that we could turn around it. So we turn, and now we're clear to go. Nice. Cool. Oh, and the slowdown is just unnerving. Not my favorite. Definitely want to put in some sort of stopping feature so you can like slam on a brake, like curving around brakes. Like, so when I'm playing like Mario Kart myself, I definitely never use the brake, but if I was actually driving something, I would want a brake. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, so the distance of the raycast is still a little too big, so let's go ahead and shift this down to be 5 meters, which should make it a little easier when you get into tight quarters. And then let's see the speed. Let's give it a top speed. So right now we are going to +1, +1, +1 indefinitely. But what we can do is create a max speed. So we go to the variables tab. We're going to create a new number variable called max speed. And what's nice about this is you can have multiple carts with different speeds on it. So we'll set the default max speed to be 30 and see how that does. And then over here where we're setting it to be +1, I'm going to duplicate this, delete this, head to operators. And there's one called min. And so what minimum does is it returns the minimum value. And so if max speed is the minimum, so say you get to 31 and max speed is 30, it chooses the minimum, which is max speed of 30, and it doesn't go any higher than that. So that's how we do speed +1 versus max speed. Pretty cool. It's kind of like, it's very similar to clamping. There's also another one called maximum, which does the opposite, and I love them. They're awesome. Okay, so now we have got a top speed in here. We don't need the debug printing anymore, so let's go ahead and remove that. We figured that out. So turn the debug print off. Clear, stop, and play. And now let's go ahead and grab this, press index trigger. Nice. This seems to be the top speed. Oh, nope. Did I hit something? Why are we stopping? There we go. Oh, that got really fast. And doesn't seem to be slowing down. And we're stuck. Okay. How do we prevent it from getting trapped in things? So I think the problem is it's using the current forward direction of the raycast, but the car is drifting, right? So it's using the player's forward direction. And so this is where I'd suggested we use raycast with overrides. And so if we go into the actions tab and instead of using raycast, we use raycast with overrides. Instead of raycasting from the current position that it's at, we're going to raycast from the position of raycast. That's fine. So its position is fine, but its rotation is the problem. So we're going to go to operators, position of object, raycast. Excuse me. And the direction should be the player's forward direction, which we saved as variable. So that's awesome. We can use that again. And now when we hit stop, reset, and play, this should work a little bit better. Not much better, but a little bit better. Also, I think the top speed's a little fast. And doesn't it seem like it's going backwards all of a sudden? If I let go, yeah, you see that? I'm not crazy, right? That's going backwards. Why is it going backwards? Did I mess something up? I must have. Okay, we're gonna rotate. And now if I try to drive here, it will not go this way. It'll rotate to face me, but it will not drive that way. If I face this way and try to drive to the right, it still doesn't go through. Previously, it would have driven through that. So that is a little bit better. We're still driving through things on an angle like that, which might be solved simply by rotating it to go up the hill. So let's try and figure that out. Problem is, if you want it to go up the hill, you do need to raycast further out. So maybe what we can do then is say, let's go first, say, let's think. I do think that if we can rotate, but what I wanted to do is, and I haven't figured out how to do this yet. So let's take a look at Mr. Glitch's race cart here, because it's the most fully developed one. You have wheels here and here. And so these are your two axles of your car. And so you want these to stay on the ground. If you look at a plane and we pull out just, flat plane like this, and you say you want this car to drive up this plane, the car does not just instantly, and I'll take a duplicate copy of this, it doesn't instantly turn to this, right? Like the moment it sees this, it doesn't become like this. It starts by the front wheels hitting here, and then it slowly becomes in line with that. And so what we want to do is take the a raycast from the front axle and a raycast from the back axle and combine those to figure out where is it at and what is the distance. So what I'm trying to solve is this is the math problem I'm trying to solve, is if we take this and we assume it's coming off of a flat level surface like that, and this is the process, right? So we'll just draw a few different diagrams to figure out where we're going, where we're at, where we're going. And so if I wanted to get the normal of this, probably could get that pretty easily. I don't know how I would, but I'm pretty sure I could get that pretty easily. But because we want to do this action here in the center, I think what we need to do is something a little bit more complex. So we're looking at two positions, right? So we can consider these wheels are the positions. And what we need to find is the upward direction of this plane. So if you were to draw a line between these two positions, you could then draw a line between these two positions and then calculate the cross. Okay, so if you've never done this before, this is going to seem really complex, but you can calculate the cross product of the forward direction and the rightward direction to get an upward direction. It might actually be leftward direction, but doesn't really matter. We're going to either get it up or down, and we can reverse it if we need to. So basically you take this value, cross this value, and you get this value. And that's what we're trying to get, right? So as this car is moving, we want it to go from here, which is the same value as here, as it is there. And that should be pretty straightforward to do. I'm kind of looking forward to this, but I'm also really frustrated because I wasn't expecting there to be so much lag with the raycast, right? Like it's driving through things that it shouldn't be driving through with a 5-meter raycast. So that's kind of difficult because we really need it to know instantly, especially when we're going fast. And the speed is currently a little too fast. So right now we have max speed set to 30. Let's actually go set that to 20. We'll see if we need to increase it later. And let's see. So this position, and I wasn't sure if this would work. Upward position, can we calculate a direction vector? Do I know how to, I guess is the question. So forward direction, rightward direction, upward direction becomes the cross. So yes, we're going to throw a cross product in here. So you go into your operators tab at the top under under vectors. There it is. So under vectors, we have cross. And then what we're going to cross is the forward direction of the position of the wheels. And this isn't the position the wheels are currently in. This is the position we want the wheels to be in. So that's the important note here. So we're going to need to calculate two position values. And to make this easier to follow, I'm going to create a couple vectors in here. And so this will be called front wheel position. And then we're going to create another vector, which will called back wheel position. Back wheel position. Notice I'm putting the underscores in there, which means I don't expect anybody to be editing these later on the properties panel, as it won't have any effect. Okay, so we've got those two positions, and then we need the rightward position, which should always be between the two wheels. Let's see, is there any way to calculate that? It should always be, it'll always be the that's hysterical. It would be the cross product. It'd be the cross product of the player's forward and upward direction would be the the one we'd want, which is I'm thinking there's some math to simplify this that I'm just not smart enough to know. I know a couple people who definitely would know, but let's see. Going to go ahead and let's see, is there another way to calculate that? Oh, and we need to normalize this. So let's go ahead and go back to this, the stuff that we can do very easily. So we're going to normalize. And what normalize does is it takes the distance of two vectors or of a vector and it cuts it down to 1 meter. So if I put the position in A, position in B, so now we're taking position 1, subtracting position B, and we're getting the vector between them, so the position between them. And that's going to be a direction vector that's 1 meters long. And that's important when you're cross producting. Although because we're using it as an app, that probably doesn't matter. But then what we do want to do is cross product one more thing. So I'm going to duplicate cross into here. And the next thing we're going to cross is what I was saying before, which is that forward direction of player that we had calculated. And so we're going to grab forward direction of player, cross the upward direction of player. And since we know that's always going to be 0, 1, 0, we can just throw that in. And I feel like there's probably a static number. There's probably some easy way to calculate this. I'm really wondering what I'm missing. That's okay. Let me just check at the comments right now and see where people are at. 0 battery went dead. Oh no, battery went dead. Oh, we lost Mr. Glitch. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Glitch. We'll hopefully catch you here in a bit. Okay, I just plugged in my actual my headset too. I was about to die. Let's see. Thanks for the great tutorial. Can't wait to try it out. Feel free to challenge me on Beat Saber. Haha. Thanks. All right. Wheels up. Say hi. Hi, Wheels up. And here we go. Cross player forward by the upward direction of the player gives us the right word. And this super complicated way to rotate our car. But now we need to set the back wheel and front wheel positions. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So before we can rotate, we need to set the back wheel and front wheel positions and then figure out which of these directions I got backwards. And so these are going to be the from the front of the car. What if we just create 2 Raycasts that just fire downward from those positions? It's a little intense. There's definitely a more efficient way to do this, but it's easy. So we'll say front RC for Raycast, and then we'll do one for back object back RC. Okay, confirm. And so what you can kind of imagine happening is now there's this front Raycast, which is firing down, and it's like, well, there's a hill here. I need to get to a position that's above me. And the back Raycast is like, well, I'm down below. And so now it's going to slowly rotate up this hill. And this would definitely work a lot easier if it was a slow moving vehicle. So then we're going to go to our actions tab and hit Raycast off of these 2 Raycasts. So raycast from the front and the back, and then get the hit position, which is from at the bottom of the operators tab. We have get raycast data. Okay, we're gonna get the hit point on the front raycast and the hit point on the back raycast. Okay. Now what could happen here is that it doesn't hit something for some reason, and then we get a really wonky rotation. But let's go ahead and try that out. Hitting stop world. And now what we need to do is bring in a couple new raycasts. So we're going to open up the properties panel here, zoom in, and we've got this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this raycast, dupe, rotate down. This will be our front raycast position. And then we need one for the back. So we'll duplicate this out the back side right to there. And open up the properties panel for both of those. And now we can zoom out of the car. And then opening up the, let's open up, there we go. Open up the properties panels for that, close out of this. And now I just need to reference those raycasts. A lot of little panels here. So this is the front and this is the back. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and hit stop and play. Kind of am not expecting this to work. I'm pretty sure I've done something wrong. That's okay. So I'm not going to stand out. That's too dangerous. Oh, surprisingly that worked. It's still going backwards. I got to figure that one out too. Oh, nope. Okay. Let's see if we can do that at a slower speed and see what happens. I'm very curious what would happen if I did this at a slow speed. So let's get around to our one around the corner, the actual road. Because that's the goal, right? The goal is to go up the track. Yeah, it's sliding backwards. It feels like I'm getting controller drift. It's hysterical. It's hysterically bad. It's so bad. Okay, so now that we're colliding, it refuses to go upwards because we're colliding. Okay, so I'm kind of going to try getting it to a position where it'll... Nope, not rotating at all. Thought that would have rotated a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Look towards the players forward with an upward direction. The upward direction could have caused it to tilt back, but it didn't. So maybe because the player forward is the forward of the torso rather than the head. And so it's not able to tilt up because that's just not what it was given. So the forward direction is actually going to be this direction right here. So grab this, duplicate that into there. And maybe we'll try that, see if that works. And then I want to see why we're going backwards. So we say if speed up, going +1, +1, +1, else we're going -2 on the speed. So is it possible that it's getting to -1 at the very end, whereas it wasn't before? So do I need to do what we did up there and say speed has a minimum, right? So we say, or excuse me, a max. We do speed max. I know the names throw me off too. So what max is going to do is the opposite of what we did before. So we throw this speed -2 in here and then max it at 0, which means if it gets to -1, it'll choose the maximum, which is 0. And maybe that will prevent the going backwards. Okay. Stop and play. Once again, kind of expecting this to fail. I like to go in with a fail attitude. Oh gosh, what's happening? This is awful. Do you see this? That's so terrible. We are moving. I don't even know what's happening. Yeah, see, it's good to expect failure. Otherwise, you'd be like super upset right now. What is even happening right now? I can't in the slightest explain this. Yep, no idea. Why? What? Why is that an acceptable rotation? Okay, so I've got a better idea. Rather than trying to calculate the, no, we do need to do that. Let's see. What is happening? I probably have something reversed. That's probably what it is. Trying to think if there's an easier way to. Like sometimes just doing stuff easy is way better than trying to do stuff hard. So I'm going to take a second to do some more building design over here on our terrain and on our tunnel. Well, I think about if there's some method that would be substantially easier than what we're currently doing, which is giving quite the pain. How are you guys doing with your go-karts and everything over there? Looks pretty cool. By the way, everybody's on mute, which is super respectful, but you're welcome to unmute. Okay, still can't hear anybody, but that's it.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, there we are. Hey.
Yeah, you doing?
Very well, very well. All right. If you want to help with some of the terrain, you're more than welcome to try and like throw some stuff down, throw some shapes, all as well.
Bet, okay. Bet.
There we go. Not bad. We're kind of getting some flickering there, so I'm going to duplicate this down. So this is where I would normally say, hey, if you're, getting stuck, consider, taking some time to break. Doing some art is definitely a great break. The rule of thumb is usually do art last, but if you need some time to kind of figure out the script or kind of like rethink something from the ground up, definitely worth it. That's kind of interesting. Not opposed to that. And now I'm going to take a second to go read you guys' comments. So feel free to comment. Okay. You can do it. Thanks, gamer. Appreciate that. That's some good support there. Can I get an invite? You can do it. What is your Oculus use? Oh, you are gamer898. Oh shoot, I want an invite too. Well, we only have 4 slots here, and I think is there just us 2? It looks like actually. There might be 3. I can't tell. But I will go add gamer and see if anybody else is around. Let's see. Go to manage collaborators, and we're going to add maybe gamer898. And invite. And let's see. Oh, it's Segek. Yes, we'll invite you here. Segek. There we go. And let's see if you come out. Invite as editor. And I saw my friend Simi was online. I'm sure he'd want to drop by. You guys don't know Simi, bro. He pops into so many videos. It's hysterical. Oh, he's at Metacourt. Metacourt, the home of Horizon Worlds roleplay, if you ask me. It's kind of funny. I've heard the coffee shop is pretty good too. I've been meaning to stop by there and check it out. There we go. Nice. And then over here, what we can do is do something like that, right? And then, okay, with leaving a few little weird joints here and there. It's fine. Hey, welcome, Sikik. Man, one day we're gonna have like millions of builders in build mode. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. Hey,
What's up?
welcome, Seth. Great to have you back.
It's crazy. I've been on 2 streams.
Hey, this is only my second live stream ever, so you and me both, buddy. Oh gosh.
I just saw y'all went live, so I'm like, oh, can I hop on?
Yeah, it's good. Do you want to try and design a tunnel here? Man, I would love to see some sort of tunnel. Someone made a request for a tunnel. I think it's the most brilliant request we've
A
had.
tunnel?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Testing my mic.
Hey.
Anybody hear me?
we can hear ya. Welcome, Sekek.
Yay,
Okay,
what's
cool.
up?
Yay,
Great
I'm
to
here.
have you. Feel free to help
What
with
should
anything
I,
here. And we're just kind of throwing some
Okay.
shapes down, building
Oh.
some landscape. The goal is to be able to drive over this landscape, and that's kind of the hard part here. And so we're trying to think if there's an easy way, because right now, if you've just joined us, the cart's upside down. Okay, I used Raycast, I did all the
Hello.
math, I mathed it backwards, I did something upside down, obviously, topsy-turvy. And so we need to find a better way to calculate how to get snapped onto the ground below us. And so
Oh.
the hard part is we're wanting to really get this
backwards.
to rotate correctly. We really want it to snap like that and drive up the road and then go down and, kind of like low rider it a little bit. We're going, problem is it's not very responsive. That's part of the problem here. Is like we're not getting extremely responsive results. Just a little.
How can you even snap it on the road?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question. How do we snap it onto the road? Like,
Especially the viewpoint. Like the car, even if you manage to snap the car to the road, the viewpoint won't be following the car.
what do you mean?
Because your viewpoint will be the same as your actual sitting position in real life, right?
Yeah, you can't rotate the
You won't be
person.
tilting up or
So the
down.
person has to rotate the car themselves, right?
Yeah, but tilting up or down, when you go downhill, will your viewpoint be tilting downward?
I mean, no. I mean,
Actually,
it's
I'm
kind of
thinking
like
it too.
you'd have to consider like this is gonna sound ridiculous. When I was a kid, we had Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and I loved that game. And so what I would do is I would be sitting there on my laptop here, everybody on the laptop stream. I would sit there on my laptop and I would just be like moving like this the entire time. I'd even lift my laptop up sometimes and kind of tilt with it just to feel like I was riding the roller coasters because they had that ride the roller coaster in RCT3. And so that was a lot of fun.
True.
And so I'm like, you're kind of doing that in VR, but so it's even more immersive than it used to be. But you kind of have to like pretend you're going down and you get in your big chair and you're like, oh man, we're going up this huge hill. Or you're like, no, we're falling. So I think there's a little bit of that kind of playing into it to enjoy. But yeah, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is really getting it to go up and down. Well, the up and down is actually the easy part, right? So maybe we should start with that. Maybe we should start with the up and down and then get to the rotation later. So let's go back to a more simple rotation. I've deleted the Raycasts because I was just really not happy with the way the Raycasts were functioning. Yeah, I just deleted them angrily. I was like, bye, or as we say, bye. So yeah, we're getting rid of front Raycast and back Raycast. We're not going to use front wheel position or back wheel position. We're going to come back to that. I understand the idea that I have. I just having trouble with the implementation. One of my friends who does some really great math here in Horizon, he writes everything down on paper and solves it with like trigonometry first and then does it in Horizon. Yeah. I wish I was that strategic and logical, but no, I'm going to do it the hard way. What we want to...
I guess he's like, yeah. He's more familiar with math than...
Yeah, definitely.
Do stuff with math a lot more.
I'm learning it. Okay. I'm relearning it all. That's the truth. Yeah.
I won't be able to help much with script, and you're trying to make a scooter, right?
Something like this is pretty cool. I like Mr. Glitch's over here is really nice.
That one is even better.
Yes, this was one by Mr. Glitch. Feel free to make a duplicate copy. I'm going to group it for him. And we're going to make this functional by the end of today. So you can make your own model, or you can start with this one if you like, or you can start with pretty much anything. Go for it. And we've got some other models over here that have been made. Some good stuff out here.
Okay.
And mine is a work in progress. We're gonna call it a whip. This is my whip, you guys. I hope you like it. It's slick. I could add some metal texture to it, but for now, this is my whip. Uh, we'll come back to the design. Okay, so I am thinking I'd still like to do a raycast. As much as I'm not happy with it, I think it's gonna give us the best method of going up and down. And so if we think about it from the perspective of being able to fire it up and down, we did the raycast with the forward of the player, which gave us a accurate forward. So that way we were making sure to fire with the direction of the player. That worked really well and allowed us to rotate freely. So that was good. Now, what else? So that allowed us to stop faster. So I guess we're going to keep that raycast object. I'll have to create a new one since I deleted everything. And then if we're going to do that from the forward point of view, when it hits a position, maybe what we do is instead of saying if not did hit and having this all here, we got all this speed calculation. This isn't really what we're needing though. The speed calculation can continue to happen even if we do hit something. So let's move this outside of the if. And so we'll move this upward above the raycast, kind of keep this logical just so my brain can follow it a little bit easier. So first we set the player forward, then we get the rotation of the car. So we rotate the car, then we speed up. So we set the current speed. Then we say if not did hit, we are going to say if the speed is greater than or equal to 0. So if not did hit, well, the thing is, that's the problem, right? We were saying we're not going to continue looping if we hit something, but the reality is if you hit something, you're going to go up it potentially. So you're not necessarily stopping unless it's a sharp angle. Okay, so let's move this down here. And instead of saying send loop to self here, let's actually go and create a new parameter. So what we want to say is can loop. So I'm going to create a new Boolean called can loop, and we're going to create a bunch of options to stop the car. There's going to be a few different ways that the car can stop. So we are going to have inside of the index trigger release, this is fine. But up here, when we set speed up to true, we also want to set can loop to true. And then we have to do all the checks. So down here, can loop will send loop. But here we're saying if the speed equals 0, we want to set can loop to false. So this is one way that the loop will stop. Another way the loop will stop is if the incline of the hill is too steep. So if it's too steep of a hill, we are not going to go up it. So let's start by debug printing the normal of the objects we're hitting and see if we can't get that. And then understand what that means, because I don't actually understand what that means. So whoops. So let's go ahead and say we're raycasting off the player. We're getting the forward. Right now we're only moving the car to this position by speed, but what we're thinking about doing is taking the direction. So if we get a hit point, we move to that hit point. So let's actually, and this is just a really easy way to do it. So this will allow us to move upwards is the thought. So the thought is let's start by moving upwards first. So instead of that, we move car to the hit position plus a value of like the height of the car. So we'll go get the hit position from the raycast. So I'll go get hit point and then plus a vector like 0, 1, 0. So that way it's not in the ground. So I'll go 0, 1, 0. And if speed is greater than or equal to 1, set can loop to false. So this is pretty good. But what we wanted to see is debug print the raycast hit normal. Because I don't know how to use this. but I'm feeling like that might be what we need. So I'm going to create some sort of marker. Am I going to create a marker? Yeah. And we're going to create an object called mark. And we're going to move the mark to the hit position and rotate it to, so we're going to move it to the hit point and we're going to rotate it to the normal. We'll see. I don't think that's possible. I don't think you can rotate towards a normal. A normal is going to be a vector, so you have to use it as a rotation. So then you'd go into look at, so you'd go look at the normal with up 0, 1, 0. Sure. That's not going to work. There's no way that works because the normal should actually be this. This should be where the normal goes. The normal should be telling you which way to face off of that point. That should be like the upward of a surface. So then the forward direction, I don't even know how would you calculate that? Again, this is why we're debug printing it because I don't actually know. Anyway, we'll just throw it into both slots, see what happens. And then we need to grab a raycast, and we also need to grab a circle. So I was going to grab this circle here to kind of help us understand how it's rotated. And then I was going to grab the raycast from here. Okay. Now previously we had the raycast set to 5, so we'll go ahead and do that again. And we'll do both. And now we just need to reference it on the controller. Okay. So reference raycast here, close, and then reference this object here. There we go. And script, stop, reset, and play. And see what happens. Okay, we are moving. We are indeed moving. Very slowly, though. Much slower than usual. I feel like something's very different here. Okay, it stopped. I don't see anything happening. Not sure if it intentionally stopped or not. All right, it's because it's using my torso position. I'm expecting it to use my hand position because that's how all of our previous controllers have worked. Okay, so it says the hit normal is 0, 0, 0. Maybe because it didn't hit anything. That would make sense. Let's see. Checking your guys' messages. See him streaming immediately, get on Horizon World, but he's in a private world right now. Let's see.
That was me.
That was you, yes. This is awesome. Way to get people involved and practice in a group. Great, thanks. They added physics to this update that might help. I don't know if it works for objects. We tried the physics in the early beginning, Z, and it was not fun. It was kind of crazy. It does work on objects, so it's a push, so it causes a push on the physics object, but it can cause it to just act in funky ways that we weren't really a huge fan of. Okay, so let's see. So that's why we're trying to calculate it manually, and we've got the speed, like the making it feel like it's a physics-based object, pretty good actually. I'm pretty happy with that, but you know, you're right. If we engaged with the physics engine, we'd get a little bit more relaxed. And maybe we could just snap it to the ground. So just say move to ground. So position. So every time it's like getting off the ground, it just moves to the ground. And then at some point, maybe if you hold a button, it glides off the ground. So there's kind of like a jumping mechanism. Is there a way to do that? I'm not sure. An easy way, at least. Because what we would want to do, what if you have to let go of your index trigger to glide? Oh, you guys make me rethink this. Okay, let's try a duplicate of this real quick, just for funsies.
Rethinking it a little too much.
No, this is a hard concept. I've literally spent months thinking about how I would do
It
this.
is. It's very hard.
Many months have been spent thinking about how I would do this. So I'm excited to be trying to figure it out now. Okay.
I built the tunnel for you.
Oh, thank you. Nice. That does look more like a tunnel. I'm going to give it a slight modification. There we go. And the only other thing I would do, the what would lakes do test, is I would give it a bit of this on the outside. There we go.
So they could go with the car right into the tunnel. Oh,
That's not
cool.
bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Feel free to keep playing with that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, because I'd love to see it where like players can drive on top of the tunnel or they can go through it. Like there should be the option to do both. Like if we make the race course longer, we can add a track that goes over the tunnel. Like that'd be kind of ideal.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
So you think maybe like this one goes down like that, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and smooth this
Sweet.
out a bit.
And I guess what we can do right now, just to kind of lean into that, is just add this at this moment. So I'm gonna go grab that and then slide this over to here and then grab it here and slide like that. There we go. And then we'll slide this down and grab this, slide it over. There we go. Not bad. Not bad in the slightest.
Oops.
I'm trying to think, I guess if you did that, that might work, right? Nice. Cool. Okay, so continuing to look at this, we came to our new script where we're going to try doing this with physics. Okay. I'll go back to the physics model. We'll try it again. I did enjoy the bouncy physics at the beginning. That was a lot of fun. I think the reason we didn't like physics also was because it was kind of jittery. We're getting some weird like jitter. So that was strange. So we're going to do the same local scripting so that way we have a little bit more responsive script, transfer ownership of self, car, and Raycast. Then when the index trigger is pressed, we set can loop to true and set speed up to true. So we'll continue doing that. And then let's actually delete the can loop and delete that from over here under our script. Delete the back wheel and front wheel position. Keep player speed, keep all of that. Everything else seems good. Oh, and the marker can get deleted from here because it didn't seem to get used. It must have, but it didn't. Now, then what we want to do is say in the loop, set player forward to the forward direction of the torso. As much fun as using player forward was, I really have not enjoyed using my forward torso because I like to look my head around while I'm driving so I can do other things and I use my hands to direct, which is why you use the direction of the steering wheel object. So it's going to be called forward. So this will be forward of object. And then we'll set forward of object to be the forward direction of self, because that's the remote control. And forward direction of self. Okay. Now we're rotating the car to look towards the player forward with up 0, 1, 0. So now you have a new forward, so rotating it to the forward of the object with up of 0, 1, 0 plus the 90-degree rotation. And then if speed up, if speed equals, wait, why does it say if speed equals 10? Oh my gosh, I had no idea I did this before, so sorry I didn't catch this earlier. No wonder this didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. I meant to set speed to be equal to 10. So speed up, set speed to 10. No wonder it wasn't giving the punch I was looking for. Oh my gosh. Did anybody catch that? Was I am so silly. I'm so sorry. Okay. So then we've got set speed to 10, and so that gives us a nice punch, and then it quickly gets up to 20. We probably can actually even set this to be like 5 or 6. No, we'll go 10. We just really want to kick it into gear. And then we're going to slow down fast. And we're going to raycast with raycast from the position of the raycast with not the player forward, but the forward of object. So that makes sense. And then let's see. Now that we've done that, if we did not hit, we move the car to the position of that forward of object times speed over 1 second, move car. Now, if we did not hit, or if we did hit, we move car to the hit point plus a vector of 1. So that should have moved us up is what we were expecting to see happen. I never saw that happen, so we might have to try that again. And then we're going to delete the moving of the mark. We're going to delete. That was a mistake. Okay, and delete that. And if speed is greater than or equal to 1, we're going to send loop to self. Okay, bugs fixed, simplified a little bit here. And I think we're good. Let me see if I missed anything else. That's the other thing I think is really important, is just to reread your scripts as you're working on them, because you'll catch things that you just never caught before. Okay. So we've got our speed. We haven't done physics speed. This is still just a regular moving car. So the part that we really wanted to get to was using physics. And so instead, we're going to go to our motion tab, grab push. And so we were having this kind of glitchy, and I think it was because we were pushing along the ground. So it's causing the car to kind of stutter forward. And I'm wondering what would happen if we pushed it upward forward. So we're going to say push, but instead of just pushing with the but instead of just pushing, move this over into the move 2, excuse me. Instead of pushing with this position of car plus forward times speed, what if we do push with a vector? So we add 1, 2. Okay, moving a lot of stuff around just to make this look cleaner. So what we've done is say push the car by forward of object times speed plus a vector of 0, and we're going to add 3. So we're pushing it upwards. So it's forward and upward. So hopefully we're not scooting across the ground. And then if we don't push forwards, then that theoretically doesn't need an else, because that's going to come to a stop naturally. And if speed is greater than or equal to 1, send loop to self. Okay. Let's give that a try and see what happens. Oh, the thing I wanted to do was to snap it to the ground, so we're gonna have to come back to that idea. Don't know how you'd snap it to the ground. I don't know, with physics at least. Okay. So we moved, but not very fast. Why are we stopping? Oh, now we're bouncing. Oh, because physics isn't on. What the heck? Oh, and I didn't change the script. Easy, easy mistakes, you guys. Seriously, all the time. All the time. Going into this property panel, I need to attach the new script, which is called physics. And then we're going to reference this raycast. We're going to reference the car object. Reference the grouped car. And now we can give that a run. Okay. And I'm gonna stop, reset the world play. There we go. Okay, not working. We're just spinning in circles. What's going on? Ayo. But interesting rotation. Huh. Where is this getting its rotation from? Forward. Oh, it's getting the forward rotation of this. Interesting. That is almost nice. I almost like it. Almost. So this is why we have that visual controller on our cars in the Essentials bundle, right? So that way you can see how it's pointing. Okay, but why aren't we moving? Oh, because I keep forgetting. Interactive physics. There we go. Got to turn the physics on. That's important. Otherwise, you can't use physical motion. So yeah, physics requires physics motion. That's very important to note. Okay. So now it falls, and we can grab this, and I don't know which way to point it, but that's precisely why we didn't use physics. Okay.
All I see is it going.
It's just gone. It's just completely, utterly gone.
It just said no.
Yup. So I don't
You
even
are
know how it
not
went that
riding me
fast.
Today, no.
Oh, because we instantly set it to 10. So I guess we'll instantly set it to 2. I really wanted to punch it. Not that hard, though. I guess we'll set the max
Not that
speed to be
hard.
10, since that's apparently what max speed of 10 looks like. Oh, right. But if you set speed to 2 here, it's never going to be higher than 2. That's not smart. You'd have to set speed to be 2 right here when you press it. Got it. When you press your index trigger, set speed to 2, then got it. Okay, got it. Got it. Reset world. Stop. Reset and play.
I'm creating some real bumpy parts.
Oh, you're really making a challenging course. Oh, this is a fun car. Hoppy car. And it's gone.
Copy car. Bye.
It's gone, yeah. Bye.
It just said no.
I don't even know what to do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to make sure this points in the forward direction. So that way when you grab it, it's pointing in the right way. I think that's... Nope. Don't even know where you're going. It's gone. Once again, it's gone. Okay. So what we want to do is remove the upward direction. So if we go to this forward of object and then multiply it by, oh, wrong one. If we go to the push on forward of object and then multiply forward of object, not by, yeah, we can multiply by speed, that's still fine. But we're gonna need to multiply it by a vector with a 0. So grab forward of object and then take a vector in here, and we can delete the y component so it doesn't go up by multiplying it by 1, 0, 1. So now it'll only move on that other axis. And then, okay, so I know this is off still. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, this is fun, but it's definitely not right. Okay. Just almost. Okay. And it jumps. It does hops. Oh my goodness. Why did we think this was a good idea? Who commented that this was a good idea? Why did you make us do this? It's gone. I was like doing so much better with the other car. Okay. So that was fun. You guys. Okay, I'm literally deleting these scripts. So if you've been following along, I do sincerely apologize. My goal is not to make this it wasn't really necessarily to make this a tutorial, but it's kind of be a learning experience, right? So I've deleted those scripts, and what I think we're gonna do is start from something that's a little bit more of the way there. Checking out your car, looking good. Nice designs. What you up to over here? Stopping in to say hi.
I've just been working on the track.
Oh, I'm trying to
really
get better at making the
busy
cars.
on the car.
That's all. Cause I did like 3 prototypes right there, and it's about to be like my best one. So.
Nice, love it. Yeah, keep it up. It's great.
It's fun.
Nice.
It's fun.
And then yeah, keep working on the track. This is coming along nice. I'd love to see there not be a hole here though. So if you maybe want to think about filling that in,
That's easy.
we could put in some sort of yeah, some sort of rock. Do you think you can use cubes though? Just for the purpose of this tutorial, I think we need it to be cubes. I'm not 100% on that, but for now, let's Let's just pretend that that's a requirement. Oh, I see you did a pretty good job over here actually with this one. Yeah, these were pretty nice. And I messed it up,
Yeah.
but
There's some major things I could fix.
so I'm trying to think if there's an easy way to do this, because if I throw this into here, then throw this along here, and then drag that to there, and then stretch that down, that's not terrible. Okay, and so if we grab this, we could do something like this, but up into here, just for that small little corner. Select it, and then stretch it till it's just in the spot where we need it. And down. No, not so much.
I filled this hole in over here.
There we go. Thank you so much, Seth. Really appreciate that. Good stuff, really. Good stuff. Okay. So what I was thinking we do is we just go to my favorite friend, the Vidyuu Essentials bundle, which if you don't have access to, just leave a comment with your Oculus username. Probably not right now, to be honest. It's kind of hard to go through these chat messages. Let's see. How are you guys doing? Now I know what I look like when building right in front of my face. Oh, hi guys. I forget that I'm on video camera. I turned that on and I completely forget. But I hope that's kind of fun and funny. Oh, shoot, I want to invite to. When is it going to be published? Good question. I don't know. Let's see. Hey, what's up? Cranor Skulls. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Hi. Oh, look, we got 8 people have already commented on the Essentials bundle today. Got to go get those people added. My hand. Okay, we're going to go to, I think my left hand is dead. Is it? It's completely dead. Okay.
There. No holes going into the tunnel.
Trying to remember where I keep my batteries. I think I'm also going to grab a sip something to drink. So I've got the Essentials bundle coming in below. And we'll jump down there in just a second. I'm going to go grab a new battery. I'm like worried the Quest is going to stop casting if I take this off. Oh, you know we're in the Essentials bundle because the sky has changed. Laggity, laggity, lag. Sorry, everybody. We might have also just hit world capacity, quite possibly. Would not be surprised.
That's cool. Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Yeah. All right, there we go. And we're up in the stars. You can see there's just a few stars here. All right, I forget my left hand is dead. I'm expecting it to come back
Wait,
to life.
you imported this?
Uh-huh.
Videos essential bundle.
Yep, I just imported the bundle. There's a couple cars down there that I was going to go get and try to use those because they've got quite a few features. I'm going to delete the skybox. We don't need skybox.
Wow.
Okay, yep. So welcome to the Essentials bundle. So our last stream was about the Essentials bundle, actually. Won't be going too deep into this time. So I'm going to quickly get rid of some of the stuff that's going to be eating up a lot of capacity. There's quite a few videos on the minigame template, specifically the laser tag house party video. And yeah, feel free to check that out. And delete. And then what I really wanted to look at is the car. So the way I've done the car over here works pretty well. I like it. I like how it works. It falls off the ground. So I'm wondering if there's an easy way to make this work. And what I really like about it, and the reason I was just like, okay, I'm giving up on that current model, is I like the remote controller. The remote controller tells you how to use it. It tells you which direction it's facing. It's like already halfway there. So I really like that. There's just a few things we need to figure out in terms of getting it to go up hills and stuff, which is remarkably harder than I thought it would be. So hopefully we don't lose the screen. If we do, it's really easy to get back to casting. So I will be right back AZ Maya, if you could. You can invite me while I'm offline to the bundle. I'm going to write your name down on my phone, because otherwise I will forget. Yo, cell phone, there you are. Whew. Oh my
This
gosh.
is coming along
Okay, doke. Let's see.
fairly nice.
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. So, one of our friends is apparently saying that the Essentials bundle is filled with space junk. Obviously has no clue what he's talking about, but that's pretty funny. We keep the Essentials bundle extremely, extremely clean. So don't need to worry about that. When you import, you're only importing the public version of the world. You don't import the model. That's why they're all published worlds, is so you import the clean copy, not the one that people are editing. So let people think what they want to think. I mean, if they don't want to enjoy free assets that are clean and easy to use, that's up to them. But I hope you guys will all check it out and use them. So what I was doing was writing down, what's your name again? Z Maya. You got it. If there's somebody named like Apple Crisis, they commented this morning and YouTube auto removed it. And I haven't been able to figure out their name since. I didn't get the exact spelling, so I haven't been able to get them added. So if you're here or you know that person, definitely comment their username for them. Z Maya. Got you. And I'm going to be right back. Got to get myself a battery and some juice.
I like your car that's coming along.
Boat. Boat.
Boat.
Yeah.
Car. Boat car
I
mix.
don't know.
Boat car
It's
mix.
fun. We'll see how it will look at the end.
Boat car mix.
Any of y'all building worlds?
I have 100 and something worlds published.
100.
I don't know I don't know how much, but that's just what I've saw.
I made some swords.
Swords.
Swords. Yep.
I like this one. This one is nice. This one is very nice.
That one is good too.
There's a very bumpy part down there that I used these little pieces for.
Yeah, go ahead. I just don't know which one is better, the flicker one or the non-flickering one. You prefer the
So gonna
non-flickering
do
one,
that.
huh? Where's the finish point?
Where is the finish point?
Um,
It's a good question.
where is the
Mm.
finish point? It is a good question.
The biggest, I guess, yeah, the biggest straight line or the where
keep
right
flicking.
after a curve, right? Right, it's
We should create
a straight line right after a
finish
curve.
line.
That should be a final point. The finishing line.
Very bumpy. Very, very bumpy. You know what? I'm gonna create a finish line. We need a finish line.
Yup.
Okay, let's see. What's up, everybody? Say hello in the chat. I see myself walking back in. Very exciting. You guys are up there working on this track. Very nice. Working on car design still. So awesome. We're looking at this is the one that we're going to come back to. I'm pouring myself some juice. I'll show you perhaps. This is some deadly black juice. Some good stuff. That's all I got to say. Here we go. Trying not to make a mess using my nose hole. The weird things we say in VR. I got to be honest. At what point would you say nose hole? Like what? Oh man. Like watch out for my cable. Oh man, that's so good. Hashtag not a sponsor. Okay, so I'm deleting everything in this bundle except for the. All right, this hand's dead. Let's get rid of that battery. And a new battery. There we go. So we're going to get rid of everything in this bundle except for this car and the other object respawn, maybe the object return script. I think we might need both of those. We'll put those over here. And I think everything else can go. Lots of cool stuff in here, you guys. If you haven't been to the Essentials bundle, seriously.
Okay, now
so
tell me
much.
if this is better, baby. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
That's an interesting
Whoa.
question.
This one?
It's crazy because the clouds that come with the
Yeah, what you think
Essentials
about that one?
bundle,
Uh-huh.
I had to delete the clouds
this
that were
fi-
in that grid
this
like
might be
10
too
times
close to the
before they
seats.
would actually delete.
Come and try
What?
it.
I had to
I see
delete
what
it
you
like 10
mean.
times before
Yeah,
that.
Well, they
yeah,
are
I want to
locked, so maybe
actually
that's
get
what
in
you're
there and-
experiencing.
Ah!
Oh.
There's a spawn point down here.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
go
delete
ahead
that.
and delete that spawn point.
Yep, we
But
can
this
delete that.
feels very, very comfy.
You know, I'm trying to get better at it. Today's my first day with the whole scripting and stuff. Well, third day. I'm scripting my own world. Trying to. It's a little hard. So I've been watching his
Whoa.
stuff and thought I'd come in here and make my first car. So these are all my little prototypes. So this is my first ever white one, second one, third one, fourth one.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's a great
Yeah,
story. Thanks for sharing.
come and try it in, and then you'll know how to make it more better.
Hoverboards.
Mm.
There's so many hoverboards.
Practice makes perfect, man. It's great stuff. Keep it up. All right. So we're looking at this. I'm kind of like even thinking like at some point you get to be too advanced, and I mean this with no disrespect to anybody who is smarter than me, or who is also advanced, but because like I've seen so many amazing things that just start with the basic, like the most basic version, and you think of like Pixel Plummet is an absolute masterpiece of a simple, amazing game. And it's successful despite not being very well scripted. No offense to Matthias, I actually came and helped him a little bit, but I was blown away because some of his teleports, it's not like having a list of players and responding through it. It's just a giant trigger moves into position and respawns everybody. And it makes you think like, what is an easier way that maybe not necessarily the right way, but an easier way to do it. So as I was down here looking at some of our stuff, I was thinking, what would be an easier way to do some of these things? Maybe not necessarily the right way, but that could actually be more functional and easier. I don't know. Easier to do.
Do we need this stage now?
We don't need this stage now. Yeah. That is ridiculous. I've never seen anything look like that. Huh. Cool stuff. Cool stuff.
My stuff didn't delete for some reason.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay. So over here we got a car, got a couple return scripts, and we know what our goal is. So definitely want to make sure we keep a copy of this in case we have to backtrack. We're going to go grab this. We know this car already works on flat surfaces. So if we grab this and we set it here, we're going to go ahead and duplicate a copy. So if we mess anything up, we've got it backed up over here. We're going to move this down so it's on the ground. And so Gamer has made this extremely difficult for us by putting bumps in early on in our course. We were not ready for bumps, but we're going to deal with the bumps. That's the truth. So we're going to have to learn how to drive over these bumps. And I think, honestly, this is actually a good thing. If I'm being completely honest, having to learn how to drive over bumps is the right method. And so when we come over here, you're going to see this just drives over. Oh, it actually runs into it. It's like, no, there's a collidable object here. I can't get over it. That's actually kind of funny. And then what we should see over here is this drives. Oh, and it's like, nope, not. There's too much stuff below it, so it falls, and then it should respawn pretty quick. So it's got some pretty good mechanics already built in. You can even change speed by pressing your Y and B buttons, and I love how easy that is to use. I mean, that's just such a. Hey, welcome back, gamer. What happened to this? What happened? Okay, and it should respawn.
What?
Oh, there's a little thing here. We drove into this. Got it. Okay, I was like, what's going on? Okay, so increase the speed. Now I'm thinking I might be able to glitch my way through all this. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I like
Drive that.
froze up for a minute and had to completely quit out.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, and reset. There we go. Okay, so we're thinking super fast. It's too fast. It drives through. It eventually collides. Gamer, do you think you can get these snapped to the ground? They're a little off the ground right now.
Oops.
It's okay. I'm going to snap this one to that one. And then I assume you can do that for all of those too, right? So you just
Yeah. You got it.
I'm going to grab these 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll snap that over to there. Cool. Nice. So now my question is that high or low enough that we can drive over it? Oh, the speed. The speed's so ridiculous. Okay, so that's the first thing we're fixing on this is this. What the heck? This. What the heck? You seeing this? It shows me a thing here. Do you see this?
Oh, do we have a ghost block?
I can't get rid of it.
We might have a ghost block. That's why.
I've never seen a ghost block before.
Yeah, it happens to where when it glitches
I feel like
so much.
I've never had a glitch like this before, and all of a sudden I'm getting it. This is crazy. What the heck? Oh, here we go. Now it's gone. I
That was
deleted
like
it. We're
my
good.
finish line and all
Okay.
that.
So, drivable flat surface. We need to set a max speed because it's getting too fast. That's the first problem. So we're doing this upward, and then we're clamping it here, which is similar to what we were doing earlier. And we're clamping it at 25. So let's clamp it at 15. And so now it should be a little bit better. So now we come in here, grab this. Oh, and look at it. It's driving through them. It's not going above them, but it is driving through them, which is nice. So I feel like we're on the right track now. I'm going to delete this weird one out here that's kind of funky. Yep, this guy's going bye-bye. And so what I want to see happen is when the wheels hit this, they go up. That's the question that we want to answer, is how to do that. And so if we have maybe a Raycast pointing down from here. I'm just not even sure Raycasts are the right answer because they're
There's
so
central
slow to respond. So this isn't locally scripted. This is a default script, and that's okay. But we're going to go to the loop. And right here, we're raycasting with overrides. And we're raycasting position of front of raycast with the current vector. So that's our forward direction without any upward value. And then what if we move it down a little bit? So we've raycasted and done that. Now, if did not hit, or we could move it down lower. So when it does hit, instead of stopping it from moving, that could actually be better too. So let's try that. That seems like the right method. So we zoom in. Seriously? What the heck is this ghost Bologna? You gotta be kidding me. This is unreal. I've never seen this bug in my entire life. What is this curse? What is this curse? Oh gosh. Okay. Not happy with the ghost. I'm gonna assume it's not real though.
It's not.
Do I just have to go to my personal space and come back?
It will go away
disappears.
eventually.
How have you all seen this and I've never
Eventually.
seen this before? This is crazy.
Because
No.
your lakes.
What?
How can you?
I
never
see
seen
tons
it
of
before?
bugs. I experience bugs all the time.
Because you're lakes. You're awesome. You never see bugs.
What?
Oh, I'm starting to think you have better hardware than me.
Haha, I'm running a Quest 2, and there's nothing special about it. You can see in the video. Look at Quest 2.
Obviously, you have a secret different version.
I am not running a secret different version.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, so what we wanted to say is here we're running this if
It's
did
all
not
the way
hit, then we
down
move.
here.
What we want to say is if we do hit something, we move the front wheels up a little bit. And so we're going to add an else below this. So we got else. So if we do hit something, we want to move platform. Oh, we were using move by in here. That's interesting. Wouldn't have expected that. We're going to say we've got now a position. Let's move by the same amount we were doing before, but with an up. And we'll just slightly move up each time that this runs through. So move by current vector. So then we'll set current vector to be plus an amount. So we'll go to our plus symbol and set current vector to be plus 0, say 1, 0. So 0, 1, 0. Set current vector, move platform to that position, and see what happens. Okay, script, stop, and play. And trigger. Oh, it's a pretty big jump. It works though. I mean, it got us up way
Pretty
more than
big
I wanted
jump
us to,
there.
but it got us up. So what if we do 0.1 rather than 1? Because the idea is that it slowly moves us up continuously, right? And then what we want it to do is go down otherwise. So using the below vector, so we say if did hit from bottom raycast. So if we do hit from bottom raycast, what we want to do is move to that position, but we should move the bottom raycast around. So select, that's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to go to my personal space. I'll be right back. Okay. Go to personal space. So sometimes returning to your personal space and coming back is the best method. So it's a good time to drink some drink and read your comments. Oh, you guys been looking like a lower weird shot of me, but maybe that's not the worst thing. Heyo. Let's see. Sorry, but I gotta go to sleep. Oh, bye. Oh, that's fun. Whew. Oh, interesting. My live stream has a V on the Vidyuu symbol. Are you guys seeing that? Is it like obtrusive or is it okay? Curious. Gonna have to think about that. In fact, you know what? It's relatively easy to fix. I just slide fingers over here, grab this symbol. Oops, wrong symbol. Is there the Command Z? Oh, there it is. Good. Grab this symbol, slide that over to there, and back over here. Oh, and then I messed this up. Oh gosh. Maybe I shouldn't have done anything. Oh, hi everybody. Wow. Cool. Yeah, I like this logo. I'll show you guys real quick. I made this for the new video that came out last night, and if I pull it to the top, you should be able to see it. Oh, wrong one. This one, the background image. There we go. That new image. So I made this out of their logo, and thought it looked really cool. And so it's hard to show you, but basically there's it's a much longer logo, and so I overlaid a bunch of extra people and kind of combined it. The way I did it, I really liked. Photoshop for the win. Okay, now we're gonna head on back there, and hopefully that gets rid of our. Oh hi. Which one of me are you looking at? The real version or this version? Hello. So hopefully that gets rid of that weird ghost bug. And if you're a dev, please. We'll see what we can do to fix that. I need to post that in the user voice forms. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the user voice forms, there was a link I posted earlier to it, and that is going to allow you to. Yeah, the user voice forms will allow you to report bugs, make feature requests. Super useful spot. Definitely recommend it. Okay, putting together my controller over here. There we go. Hey, and we're back. So somebody's driving the car around. Enjoying?
Yes.
Seems to
Having fun.
go up. It looks like we've got it to go up. Wait, I'm stopping the world. Let go. I'm stopping you. No more. Okay, and play it. Wait a second. Does this work on an upward trajectory? Like if we just want to go up stuff, does it work just to go up? No, not super high up. Back this way. It's got to be at the right angle. Like almost works to go up. Interesting.
There's your finish line.
It's on the right track though, which is cool. And so what I was going to suggest we do, and now that the ghost bug's gone, is zoom in and move our downward facing, move this forward. And I'm thinking we could use this to find out the distance to the ground and use that to calculate if we need to go down some. So that should be fine, I guess. So we'll zoom out. And then we'll go back into here, and then we saying if did hit from bottom Raycast, and we have a can fly option. I didn't know there was an option for it to fly. What? Delete that. This car is not going to have the ability to fly. That's too funny. Okay, so if did hit else move platform by -100 over 10 seconds, place down, slide whistle down. Okay, so if it does hit, we're not doing anything, but what we'd like to do is actually move it downwards a little bit. So theoretically, it's always did hitting. So we're currently moving it right here, but we should be able to throw it into here. And then I'm thinking, oh wait, no, that's not where that goes. That was in the right spot. Where does the move go to? Did I accidentally move it rather than undoing it? Maybe I did accidentally. What did I messed something up. Whoops. Wait, what did I do wrong? I just deleted can fly. Can fly shouldn't have been true. Oh, maybe can fly was important. Oh, can fly. That's not what can fly did. Got it. Okay, so Can fly is a deprecated term, basically. Okay, I understand it now. Okay, so we're gonna delete
Are
can
you the one
fly
that made the script?
and rename it. It's a Boolean that means can drive. Got it. So that's why you want to, change these things up when you adjust your script. So originally this was for the flying vehicle script. And now that it's not, we should be changing it with the new can drive, which is pretty easy to do. As you can see, we're just duplicating into the spots where the can fly Boolean was. And now it works. Okay, so we got if can drive, move platform by this. And what we were wanting to say is, what if we set the current vector right here before we do this to be minus? So instead of being plus, we do a minus with a new vector value. So we go, let's grab a minus symbol first. Okay, so we take the current vector and we're going to subtract a new vector from x, y, z and throw a 0 into the x and z slots. 0. So we'll go ahead and delete this. And then in the y slot, we're going to do the, from the bottom Raycast, get data. So we'll get Raycast data from y and get the hit distance from the bottom Raycast. And theoretically, it should be hitting directly at 0. But we want it to be not exact. So I think we're going to need to add a little bit to this. So we get the hit distance plus or minus a little bit with a minimum 0. Yeah, that should do. Okay, so let me move this over for just a second. We're going to grab a a max symbol. And what max is going to allow us to do is to make sure this is most often times 0. And then we're going to grab a minus symbol, which is going to allow us to adjust the current hit distance. And we're going to subtract a small amount from it. And so if we think the normal hit distance might be 0.1, so we'll subtract minus 0.2. And then if it's ever more than 0.2 meters off the ground, it will move towards the ground. So theoretically, that could work. Okay, now where does it say we're using can fly still? It says we're using can fly down here. Got it. And voila. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit stop, reset and play. Now, what I'm expecting to happen is this will go up and down. And it looks like it kind of is. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is kind of diving down. These bumps might just be a little too close together. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. I think honestly, I think we
need to
collided
get rid
with
of
you.
the pumps.
I think we collided with you, Seth, and it caused us to not work. So we're gonna try driving.
There you go. Almost. Yep. Oh, maybe yes.
There's
No.
just too many
Yes,
bumps. You
yes.
think you can delete every other one? Yeah. And I think if I zoom in here, whoops, what did I hit? I guess we're good. I'm thinking this might need to go up a little bit.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, so
Maybe
let's.
delete the last bump. No, the last bump is fine.
Okay, so here we go again. We didn't go up on that one. We didn't go up on that one.
Didn't go up on that one. And oh, you went.
I
up
think
on
we're
that
just.
one.
I think we're going up, but it's too late. Also, yeah, that's not snapped. Yeah.
What
It's,
if we lower the ramp a little bit more?
well, the problem is the Raycast is extra long,
Hmm.
and so there's a delay between the server and
Oh,
so that's what we're experiencing. Server lag here is what we're experiencing. So I'm going to set this to be 10 since it's not stopping the vehicle. So I'm not really worried about that. It's just going to cause the vehicle to increase its height. And play. So now hopefully there's enough delay to lift this up. Come on. Come on.
I see lifting, but then it go back in.
Okay, it got stuck underground a little bit there. And it's diving down too fast. So, and too much. So maybe under our drivable flat surface where we're subtracting minus 0.2, we subtract more like 0.5. Theoretically, this makes it less intense on the amount that it goes down. Okay, and play. Okay, it went up, didn't it? Yeah, it did. And it didn't go down because that was too much. So 0.5 was too much. So we'll try and go with 0.4. The other thing is it went too early. The Raycast hit too early. So we'll zoom in and make